News. A sailor aboard the carrier USS Abraham Lincoln went overboard last month but was quickly recovered from the ocean. The incident is under investigation. The Navy, in a statement, denied reports of suicide attempts and is addressing supplies that are running low. ABC News contributor Mick Mulroy says the sailors on board have not stopped at a port for some time.
It really set a record for continuous days at sea, so without a port call. And that causes a lot of the issues, of course, because supplies run very short and days become essentially continuous. But it's important also to point out that this crew has done an exceptional job at carrying out the mission.
Heavy rains leading to flash flooding in the Midwest. Swift water rescue still taking place in parts of Indiana. In Cambridge City, east of Indianapolis, the entire town appears to be flooded. And one winning Powerball ticket last night, drawn in Quincy, Illinois, with a $1 billion jackpot. This is ABC News. In Colombia, search and rescue continues for signs of life following Monday's powerful earthquake. Officials say there are 273 confirmed deaths. More than 370 are reported missing. And an earthquake rattling residents this morning in San Francisco's East Bay. People felt it, but so far no reports of damage.
It preliminarily measured as a 4.1 magnitude, but then it was updated to a 3.8. That's not likely big enough for there to be any major damage or injuries. There are no reports of any. The quake was centered around San Leandro in the East Bay, south of Oakland, but it was felt in San Francisco. Typically, the USGS says anything above about a 2.5 some people will feel, but shaking from a 3.8 magnitude would be pretty minor.
ABC's Alex Stone. The Hawaiian Islands are preparing for Lala. The tropical storm formed in the Central Pacific today. A hurricane watch now posted for the Big Island, where Lala is expected to pass by Saturday and also bring heavy rain to the smaller islands. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Coming up, a judge orders Calshi to shut down in Washington. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, Everett to Marysville at 20 minutes. Bellevue to Everett's going to take you 50. We're crowded through Bellevue and Kirkland. And again, heading into Alderwood. Seattle to Everett is just a 40-minute drive. We do have scattered backups between Northgate into Mill Creek, but you're cruising at the speed limit through most of this. Everett to Seattle, 55 minutes, 40 from Linwood. And it is packed coming out of Northgate down to I-90. North 5 jams up approaching the West Seattle Bridge. Just past I-90, another backup between Mercer and the Ship Canal Bridge. 25 minutes gets you through this. South 405 heavy from 520 to Northeast 44th near the VMAC. Bellevue to South Center a 40-minute trip. North 405 is pretty packed now in South Center through those S-curves. And out in Mason County in Belfair, we cleared that collision on State Route 3. Those earlier backups are gone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granello. A judge orders Calshi to shut down most of its prediction markets in our states by September 2nd. The ruling requires Calshi to block Washington users from accessing markets tied to sports, politics, elections, and more. The decision came after AG Nick Brown sued the company back in March.
Calshi, in its work, says that what it does is not gambling. They reframe it as a prediction market. But if you spend just a moment on their website, you'll see very easily that this is a gambling site.
Judge's ruling also bars Calshi from advertising in Washington as that legal fight moves ahead. Calshi saying it disagrees with the decision and is considering its legal options. A stolen truck tracked by an AirTag led Pierce County deputies to a surprise in Tacoma this week. Detective Josh Mills says there were 20 cats penned inside a makeshift cage in the back.
The cats seemed a little bit emaciated, and some of their eyes were cloudy. It seemed like they were kind of unhealthy.
Man and woman found inside that truck were arrested. The Tacoma Humane Society is now caring for them. Also in Tacoma, police now say a second suspect is in custody in a deadly shooting on the city's north end. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
Tacoma police detectives arrested a male juvenile Wednesday night without incident and booked him into Raymond Hall for investigation of first-degree murder. He is accused of taking part in last Friday's fatal shooting of a man on North 30th Street. Another suspect in this case, an adult man, was already jailed for first-degree murder and first-degree robbery. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Mariners shut out the New York Yankees today, ending their 6-game losing streak. The M's-only offense came in the top of the second.
Swung on, cranked, left field. It's high, it's deep, it is gone! Weston Wilson, a solo home run. and the Mariners have the lead.
And that's all the M's needed as they beat the Yankees 1-0, led by starting pitcher Logan Gilbert. He threw 6 scoreless innings, striking out 7. So your forecast now, we are looking at sunshine this afternoon, along with some haze in the upper levels. Air quality still in moderate to good range for most of us. And a red flag warning in effect for the Cascades and the Olympics until 9 o'clock tonight. Right now, 78 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Get away from me, you crumb. You're a crumb creep coward. I want to fight you because you're a crumb creep lush coward. You don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum.
Crumb bum.
I was a cop all my life, and I know a lush when I see one, and you're a lush. Put that on camera.
Yeah. Now you're Frank Rizzo. Right. You're crumb bum. Crumb creep coward. It's amazing. He didn't curse.
Well, what does a lush mean, though? I haven't gotten around.
A lush is a drunk.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, Nate last night. Here we go.
There's no proof of that.
Oh, yeah, I can smell you from here, you crumb bum. You're a lush. That's a crazy story, Frank Rizzo in Philadelphia. Some point I'll get to that. But mayor's in the news. You know, they recall, now a recall against Katie Wilson. And I thought, I love the old, history is the greatest teacher, right? Because we never learn from it. So I thought, well, I'm going to go into the history machine and go back and see, has it ever happened in Seattle before? Let's think, I wish I had a harp to give the impression. Yeah, answer is yes. If the answer is no, then we wouldn't bother playing the harp. The answer is yes. In fact, in 1970, a file for a recall never made to the ballot. 1974, a second attempt to recall, also never made to the ballot. 1975, yes, went to the voters, and the recall didn't go through. On the same mayor, Wes Ullman. This guy, I think he was in the House of Representatives, then he went in the Senate for a while. Then he thought, I think I could do more good stuff. So he gets elected in Seattle. And man, this guy, first of all, he's the one that saved Pike Place Market. He's the one that got you Bumbershoot. Burke Gilman Trail. He really came into the city of Seattle and just shook things up. And at a very, very interesting time. Here are some of the reasons that people didn't like him. So on May 4th, the National Guard, right, at Kent State, they shoot and kill those students, right, the anti-war protest. May 5th, 7,000 protesters block I-5. They march up to the UW campus to contain the city. And then the mayor orders the City Hall flag to fly at half-mast on the 18th of May in honor of the Kent State students. He not only does that, he helps to facilitate the protests on I-5 and the demonstrators, 15,000 of them, marching up to the federal courthouse. So he's in there basically supporting all this stuff. Well, people in Seattle, this is like 1970s, right? 1970. They don't like it. In fact, the petitioners signed the thing. 250 citizens got the thing going. And they say, you were fully responsible for the demonstration. One of the letter writers was outraged by allowing the flag to be worn by these filthy, dirty people down the street. Another one demanded that how long the mob rule will be in place, overriding law and order. The other couple of attempts that didn't go anywhere, it was 1975. The voters were like, yeah, this seems pretty bad. The firefighter union boss was fired, City Light employee, then the mayor put some other people in there, and he ended up surviving. He ends up being a very, very top 50, one of the top 50 mayors in the United States when they ranked all the stuff he was able to get done. So I thought, well, there you go. There's a little bit of history. So they tried before. There was also, of course, when Jenny Durkins was in there. So Durkins is in, and they try to recall her. And this is the same thing that's going to happen with Katie Wilson's recall, because the court will say almost the same thing that they said before when they tried to get Jenny out of there. The court basically said, the court found the critics never specified what she should have done differently. They were saying that, she let the police station go and the chops and chaz, and there were the shootings and everything else was going on. And, that was part of what was happening. But the main reason for the recall was they didn't like the way the police were using tear gas. So the court looked at it and said, well, it's really not up to her on this one. The court found that they never specified what she should have done differently. Just the tear gas policy was bad. The court required a recall charge to name a specific act or duty violated, not just to express disapproval of the outcome. So that's the same thing that's going to happen with Katie Wilson's one. Because what we've heard is they think the people that have filed it, husband and wife that live over in, where are they? Are they in District 9 or in 5? Where are they? 37 or something? Where are they, Joe?
Hang on, looking it up.
Where? West Seattle? Something. I think they've got what's her name is in there right now. Look it up. Anyway,
Melinda Jacobson.
So they're basically saying the same thing. They feel as if Katie Wilson hasn't done anything for public safety. So I looked up to see the day that Barnes left up until today, have we had more or less murders than this time last year? Then the answer is a little less. A little less from what we had starting in March. So there's really no evidence that all of a sudden there's this great display of disorder running through the streets of Seattle. I mean, for that, you got to go back to Durkin. Right? You got to take the fact that they had Chop and Chaz closed down for 23 days. You lose the police station. Total cost to taxpayers in the city of Seattle, $44 million altogether. $44 million because you let a bunch of morons take over a bunch of streets.
We could have the summer of love.
Yeah, you did. And then somebody gets the bill after all that loving. All right, so here's Melinda Jacobson explaining why.
North Seattle, by the way.
We're North Seattle. Here she's explaining why. Frank Lindsay asking her about it. Why the petition?
When she first started, I thought she deserved the benefit of a doubt. But my big thing is public safety and how she's failed this city miserably in that regard.
Okay. How about some stats? I'm looking at numbers.
Yeah.
Right, the Aurora Avenue people. We had that gal on the other day called in, and she said that they're very happy with what happened. But anyway, all right, she feels they failed miserably.
So I've been thinking about this for a while, but the icing on the cake, so to speak, was when she did a forced resignation of Chief Barnes, and that did it. And in talking to other like-minded people, I decided, if somebody doesn't do this, I have to do it. And I found out that nobody had started doing it, so I stepped up to the plate.
Okay. Barnes's resignation is the reason that's so. Okay. Okay. What do you think? Where do you think it was before the bite of Seattle came?
Were you already thinking about it before the Seattle Center shooting and before Barnes was forced out?
I have not been a fan of hers. I have been to one meeting where she presided in person. I was not impressed. I was certainly not impressed with what she did on air for Bite of Seattle and what she's done since then. And that cemented it where, she has to go. She's not doing this city any favors by staying in as mayor.
And I heard on our TV partners that you were at a march on Aurora earlier this summer and she wasn't there. Can you kind of tell me about that?
Okay, then she doesn't like that. They wasn't there for that.
When did it start? When did you kind of start not giving her the benefit of the doubt? Was that?
Well,
she didn't vote for her.
No.
One of the things was the Aurora problem. When I talked to some of the people directly involved with the horrible situation there and found out that she had ignored their phone calls, emails, and trying to meet in person for over 6 months. That is appalling. That there's no other word for it. Well, there is another word for it, but I'm not going to say it. But then the business about the World Cup, and she had quote unquote a credible threat, so that's why she chose to put the cameras on. But she just turned them off after the World Cup was over. I don't know where she's getting these ideas. Then there's a couple of places in Seattle where they've already been installed their hotspot areas, but she does not want to turn them on. What is wrong with her thinking? And if I hear anything more about studies, I mean, that is ridiculous. That's passing the buck. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Anyway, well, the nice thing about the city charter is you can file these things.
She took office in January 2026, right?
Yes.
That is data. The Aurora March was on June 6, 2026. So that was, a month and a half ago. Let's just call it a month ago. And she's upset that Katie has been ignoring the calls from the residents of Aurora for 6 months.
Yeah.
So essentially, from the moment she stepped into office, which, I mean...
Look, you got a perception that you don't like somebody. I get it. And then you feel as if he's not safe. But the court is going to look at this thing. It's going to have the same ruling as Durkin, which is, okay, well, what specifically? You have to be able to say, as the court likes to use the language, that you have to be able to show a specific act of duty violated. You might not like the choices that they make. You might not like that they use the word, they want to have a bunch of committees looking at different things, but that's not it. You have to express, you can't just express disapproval with something.
Right.
But again, when this is happening, I am always suspicious of the citizen that all of a sudden comes out of nowhere and does this. Can I have my conspiracy stuff that we normally say for Joe's Hole? The question is, who talked to Melinda Jacobson? Because I looked online to see if her and her husband had ever given any money. The PDC, that's your public disclosure, I can't find anywhere they gave any money. So I don't think they're that politically active, right? But she's in District 5. It's like Colombo here. The thing I don't understand, did Deborah Suarez, who's not running, who was appointed, she got in there to take over Kathy Moore's place after she left because of health problems. Deborah's not going to run again. But did Deborah, who's on the city council, not a big fan of Katie Wilson's, is this Colombo music? Hey, let me get my smelly overcoat on. The one thing I don't understand, I started saying Fauci, did Deborah talk to this woman, or did this woman call up and say, hey, I don't like her? Well, you know what you should do? You should file a recall against her. I find a little outside the bounds of credulity to believe that a citizen goes from zero to all of a sudden filing. You know what I mean? I can't find her that active.
Welcome to the hole.
And again, pure speculation, but hey, it's talk radio. If we didn't speculate, you'd be listening to Cars for Kids commercials for 3 hours. So I'd like to know, did a city council member say, well, listen, what you should do if you're really upset by this, file against her. Then file it, have her recalled.
Here's Frank asks her about the process.
Oh, okay. All right, good. Frank did the Colombo move.
And how long of a process it is when you did you have any idea what it was going to entail and how long of a process it is when you started?
I'm big into research. So when I started thinking about this, I really researched it. And quite frankly, there's a lot of steps involved. You just don't go take a petition down there. I mean, it has to have all the I's and dotted and T's crossed. It's got to pass through the King County Prosecutor's Office and then the King County Superior Court.
Right.
So I gathered information on my own, as well as talking to a lot of other people, like-minded people, and I put together a petition. And you know what? If it doesn't fly, at least I've tried, and then maybe the city council will step up to the plate because they have means to dismiss her from her position.
How confident are you? I mean, it's been...
Stop for a second. Frank should say, did you speak to any city council members? Did any one of them talk to you about this? Because if it bothers you and you run into somebody, you run into one of these council members, at the local supermarket or whatever, really bothers you, you know what you should do? Were you encouraged or in any way guided by a city council member to file this?
Yeah, she says repeatedly in this interview.
And I'm like, listen, good for you, Melinda Jacobson. You give us something to talk about.
Right.
But what does she say?
She says repeatedly in the interview, I spoke with like-minded people.
Yes.
So I think the answer is in like-minded people somewhere.
So what you could do, we could file a freedom information request and find out if an email, you can't do it on a private citizen, but on a government email, you could see, did any one of those city council members, so you would ask for a file of freedom of information request between this date and that date on all city council members, and then you put in there her name or her husband's name, Jacobson, and you see if it comes up on an email. Was there an email that exchanged saying you should do this or don't do this, or if you feel really passionate about it, go ahead and do it, whatever they would write on the thing. Now, whether that would be... I can't imagine somebody having that on email. But
right, you would think they'd likely use a private email.
Right, or if you're like Jenny Durkin, you would just all of a sudden mysteriously wipe everything. What? I don't know. Yeah.
We could have the summer of love.
That's right. Then Bob Ferguson was asked, are you going to investigate that? Huh? What?
Me?
Well, anyway, listen, this is good. This gives you like a little twist in there. I believe that Katie Wilson. First of all, the court's going to. The prosecutor's office is not going to go anywhere. The court wouldn't even entertain this thing because you have to show some sort of dereliction of duty, right? They got to do something really terrible on these things. But how about Wes Ullman? 1, 2, 3. 3 times they tried to kick him out of office.
And he's the one that did Save Pike Place.
Yeah, and he got the Burke Gilman Trail in place and Bumbershoot. The guy did a lot, and it was a really weird time in Seattle. I mean, all across the United States. But this guy was hanging in there, and there was a whole bunch of, it was like a white all-male club, everybody's in there working. And he's like, no, there's a reason this person could come in and do the job and that job. He really did break down a whole bunch of walls. I think he's 91 years old. I wanted to see if we could get him on, and I looked to see. He hasn't really made any public appearances. He hasn't spoken in a while. But, man, he was a mover and a shaker.
Ahead of his time.
3 times I tried to get him out of there. He wouldn't call anybody a crumb bum. You're a crumb bum is what you are. You're a lush. You're a crumb bum. Mayor Frank Rizzo.
Crumb creep lush coward.
That's right. What happened is they parked a van. I think Channel 6 of PVI TV. They had an unmarked van out near his house. He wasn't mayor anymore, but they had the van there. So then Rizzo gets a couple of his cop buddies to go there and knock on the van. They opened the door back, and there's a guy in there with a camera. And what are you doing? What are you doing in there? Well, I'm allowed to be in here. Yeah, I don't like you in here doing this. And the mayor's like, fight. And the mayor, previous mayor, reaches in and grabs the guy's camera and breaks it. Well, he's got the cops behind him. Just smashes the thing. Then the next day, that guy goes out there and gets yelled at for being a crumb bum.
You're a real crumb bum.
Okay. Nate, you're not a crumb bum. Here we go. Check traffic.
Everett to Seattle, 1 hour 50 from Linwood with a hefty backup in Northgate to I-90. Southbound 99 starting to fill in between the Aurora Bridge and the stadiums. North 5, our usual batch of scattered backups from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. Our Lake Bridges are looking good. South 405, heavy from 520 all the way to Northeast 44th near the VMAC. Bellevue to South Center's at 40 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, 45 minutes. It's thick now from interurban all the way down to 516. In Federal Way, westbound 18, bumper to bumper from the West Valley Highway over to I-5. Southbound 167 is heavy from Algona into Sumner. And on the water, the Edmonds Ferry Terminal and the Mukilteo Ferry Terminals. Actually, the Edmonds has a 2-hour wait for drivers. The Mukilteo, a 1-hour wait for drivers. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Man, I had no idea so many of you had bad elbows and ankles and wrists and shoulders and knees. I was talking to Wagner. I texted him the other day about his golf game. And he said, wow, so many people are coming in and they're like, when do I get a chance to talk to Curley? So, geez, look at everybody. You're falling apart out there. But the good news is there's Dr. Mark Wagner, who's got a 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure. And so many of you are going because you know he's done more than 20,000. We'll have to up the number because so many folks are going in there getting help using your own stem cells. But the know-how, the knowledge, the expertise of Dr. Mark Wagner makes it all work for you. So if you've been thinking, well, I should probably maybe I'll just give up running, or I'll stop riding a bike, or maybe I won't bother even learning pickleball because just my ankle, my wrist just bugs me. But he fixed my hip, by the way, a couple of months ago. I'm running again. Hadn't been able to run in 5 years. You know what they do? Before you go under the knife, before you talk to a surgeon, go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
KIRO News Radio is honored to bring home one of the nation's top awards in our industry, the prestigious National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news coverage. One award is the result of our team's hard work every single day, and none of it would be possible without you. You trust us with important information every time you choose us. Whether you listen over the air, on the KIRO News Radio app, or you watch us on YouTube, thank you.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either, because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself and Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
You are ready for a new kitchen. And after all this time, do you really want to settle for a box store kitchen? At Sound Kitchen and Bath, you can have your dream kitchen with custom cabinets, gorgeous stone countertops, and luxurious fixtures. Our design team will create kitchen and bath designs with products that are beautiful and timeless. We come to your home and make it easy for you. Sound Kitchen and Bath, soundkitchenandbath.com.
Mom, she was living on her own and scared. We didn't feel it was very safe for her. And we found Aegis. Love it. Everybody is so welcoming and she is just so safe here.
She has serious Alzheimer's disease. When she sees me, she smiles, she gives me a hug, and we dance together.
Aegis Living helps you understand your choices so the right decision feels easier. Visit aegisliving.com and see why so many families say, Aegis Living, this must be the place.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof checked. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian, we help it last as long as possible. That's why every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Anthony Hamilton with Tony, live in the Tulalip Amphitheater, Thursday, September 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Details at TulalipCasino.com.
John Curley here. If you buy a hot tub from one of those pop-up places in a parking lot, you don't expect service, do you?
because you're not going to find it. But at Seattle Hot Tub Company, you'll find American-made products, consistent pricing on all hot tubs, swim spas, and cold plunges. Easy financing with hot tubs as low as $90 a month. They're not some traveling sales event that rolls into town, takes your money, and then disappears. They're the place you keep coming back to for great service, repairs, chemicals, and advice for years. Visit SeattleHotTub.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. We are now hearing from the animal control officer who helped lead the rescue of those 61 cats from a sailboat off Tacoma. Officer Brittany Kirsch says when a Marine unit first called in what they found, she didn't believe it.
I asked them to take a photo of what they're seeing because when they described it, I was kind of in disbelief at first, as most people kind of would be. Then once I saw the photo, then we started planning.
Kirsch tells KIRO Radio's Jake and Spike crews in hazmat suits spent nearly a week removing those animals. Meanwhile, the boat's owner tells the Seattle Times he'd been living aboard but could not afford to get those cats spayed and neutered, and so over the years, the numbers just multiplied. New findings in the investigation into a Boeing 737 over Greece, in which a Ryanair passenger was partially sucked out of a broken window last month. ABC's Alex Stone says the NTSB found engine parts shattered that window.
When the Boeing 737 took off, passengers and crew reported abnormal engine vibrations that got worse over 9 minutes before what was described by some on board as an explosion when a window was shattered. The NTSB saying it found multiple fan blades broke and punctured the plane. The blade showed signs of metal fatigue even though they had been inspected in May. The NTSB says it is aware of other fan blade issues on 737s and is looking to see if there's a connection. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Washington Geological Survey says a potential magnitude 9.2 earthquake off Alaska could send a tsunami crashing into Washington's coast in just 3.5 hours. More from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
The state study shows waves topping 20 feet offshore near Westport, with flooding up to 10 feet deep or so along the outer coast, Grays Harbor, and Willapa Bay. The research also finds dangerous currents would push into the Strait of Juan de Fuca, Hood Canal, and the San Juan Islands, threatening boaters and waterfront infrastructure. Tsunami activity could last for 24 hours or more, and the first wave might not even be the biggest or cause the most damage. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Watch out for toxic algae in Pierce County Spanaway Lake. Health Department sampled that lake on Monday. Says the algae can pose serious health risks to both people and animals. If you see green, scummy water there, stay out. Now to the traffic desk at 3:33. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron, Carpet Liquidators has our update. Everett to Marysville just climbed a half hour. It is thick now from 526 all the way to 528. And now northbound 529 is packed as well between Everett and Marysville. Everett to Seattle is going to take you an hour 50 from Linwood. We're jam-packed from Northgate Way to I-90. North 5, we've got our usual backups from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. Half hour to get through this. South 405, we're heavy from 520 to the VMAC. Bellevue to South Center's at 40 minutes. We are clear in South Center, though. North 405 is bumper to bumper from South Center through the S-curves. Seattle to Federal Way, a 45-minute commute. It is packed from Interurban Avenue all the way to 516. And Tacoma to Olympia, you're looking at a 45-minute trip with a 7-mile backup between Lacey and Olympia. August is Karastan month at Carpet Liquidators. Purchase beautiful Karastan carpet and get free installation. Why pay retail? They got you covered at Carpet Liquidators. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
We've got some storm activity in the mountains today where there is a red flag warning in effect for both the Cascades and the Olympics. That runs until 9 o'clock tonight. Otherwise, sunshine with mostly elevated haze today and tomorrow. Right now, 79 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
I know. Home Comfort Alliance. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. And there for you. What? Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. I keep saying that. Are you going to keep making that noise? Nope. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric? You can't help yourself. By the way, I sent you that other sound of the bologna slicing thing. You say that? Did you get that?
Not yet. I'll work on it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, quick question.
Yes.
Did you save our Chris Novoselic Bucky's?
Let me see.
You had the bass player from Nirvana in here yesterday singing the Bucky song.
Yeah,
That's
kind of.
pretty.
But enough.
That was yesterday?
He was part of it,
He contributed.
Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. Here's a piece NPR has got it that feels so busy you don't even realize you're busy. Try doing some time audit. This doesn't seem to be big news. Basically, people pack their day with stuff, and it just keeps going and going and going, and you have no time for anything you want to enjoy. You're racing from one thing to the next. You're exhausted at the end of the day, and you try to sleep, but you can't sleep because in your mind, you're just thinking of all the things you didn't get done and all the things you have to get done. And then when you start to think in a block of everything that is coming up the next day, you see it as an entire wave of chores to be done that crashes over you when really it's occurring, 1 minute, 1 second, 1 hour at a time. And it's just sort of best to break it up. But then again, I don't, this could have been written every single year for the last 30 years. Take time for yourself.
Well, you didn't read it, did you?
I did read it.
You did? Okay.
I did.
So, but there is a process that they're suggesting where you go through, and you kind of audit how much time you spend on what over the course of a week or something like that. And then you separately kind of list what your goals are, what you actually enjoy doing, what you want to be doing. And then you kind of find where those intersect, and you eliminate some of the stuff that doesn't necessarily serve you or that you're spending too much time on that you don't enjoy or you're not benefiting from.
Well, you do have to work.
Sure.
But it's, the whole finding joy thing. Where's that book I started reading? And I got halfway through and it's like, this is dumb. Your Money or Your Life, which was written in 1980 something. It wasn't, the one part I got from it was this. They said, okay, let's say that you make $200 a day, right? They go, okay, you make $200 a day. You don't really make that. Take the taxes out of it. Now, what's your real? Okay, so then take 20. So let's say you make $180 a day. Then they said, okay, when you woke up in the morning and you drove to work, what did it cost you to drive to work? You say, okay, $5. All right, so we're going to take that off. So now you're $175. Did you buy lunch? Yeah, what was that? $10. Okay, and that can do 70. So now you're down to $165. And then, did you have to buy clothes or shoes or anything in order to wear those things to work? Yeah, what do those cost? I mean, my God, time, and it's like, cup of coffee, $1, yep, keep going. Did you pay for the cell phone? Did you need your cell phone? You roll all the way through that number, and then it gets down to the bottom. They squeeze everything out of it. And when you look at it, you're only making in a day, or they do it by the hour, you're only making $4 an hour. And then you get hit right in the face with a rake, which is that worth it? Oh, my God. And they walk you through it. And it's so funny because you're walking through each step. You don't want to answer the next one because you just keep trying. You add it up at the bottom. You're like, oh, my God, what a waste of my life.
Yeah.
But they say that's what you have to do because those are the real numbers. Now, I'm going to put everybody to the test with Nietzsche. With the great weight question. This is mind-blowing. A demon comes to you and says to you, ask this question, that if you could relive your life again, and it would go on over and over and over and over again, it would never change. For eternity, you would be living the same life, the same experiences, nothing would change. It would be the exact same amount of joy, the exact same amount of pain. All the small things would be there. All the great things would be there. The same sequence would occur forever and ever and ever and never change. And then Nietzsche says, at this point, the demon is looking for your reaction. Do you throw yourself down onto the ground and gnash your teeth? Do you curse the demon for being even to ask? Is it a life sentence that you have this life sentence over and over again? Or is it something that you would readily choose to experience, that you would crave nothing different and you would be okay with living it over and over and over again? That's the question.
So the demon's asking you if you're...
It's a diagnostic test. It's called the greatest weight.
Is your life ending at that point? So
No. He just steps in and says, "You just want to let you know Are you okay with the fact that your life is you're going to go through your regular life, you're going to pass away, and then you're going to come back again, and you're going to live the whole thing exactly as it is again. And it won't be like, oh, I lived this before. You're going to be experiencing it like you experienced it for the first time. It's just a rewind of your life. The question is, would you be okay with that? Because it's amore fati. Amore fati. Are you okay with the fact that your life is going as it is going because you will live it over and over and over again? And that's the question. It's the weight question. It's a terrible question to have to think about because you're like, okay, oh my God, but it makes you stop for a moment and think, oh, I would never want to live this over and over and over again for the rest of my life. And then, if that is the answer, well, then do something about it. Nietzsche, with the weight question of the demon asking you that.
It's a weird question.
Yes, it is. It's like doing this show and repeating my Closets by Design spot over and over and over again. That kind of thing. Right? But you can't change it. It's not like the Groundhog Day where he was living the same thing and then he was making changes everywhere along the way on the thing.
So I'm at like the middle point in my life, basically. So
if you knew that you were going to live this again, would you be like, oh my God, I got to live it over again? Yeah. Yes or no?
No, I would be fine with that.
You'd be fine with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. There's a lot of people that would be like, oh, this is torture.
Right.
Well, why is it torture? Why? And if it is torture, who's torturing you? Are you torturing yourself? What does the Buddha say? There will be pain?
Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice.
Right. Buddha walking with a man, pick up that. He's complaining about how horrible his life is. The Buddha stops him for a moment, says, pick up that big stick, carry that while you talk to me. And they're talking, and he's explaining about how horrible his life is. And the Buddha stops him and says, how's that stick that you're carrying? It's very, very heavy. And the Buddha says, well, why don't you put it down? So the man puts it down. And he goes on to talk about his problems again. And all of a sudden, he realizes, oh, that's it. Same thing. Put the stick down. Put the pain down. Put the suffering down. There will be pain, but it's how you react to it. So there's your Buddha moment for everybody. All right? Okay.
Our TDFN segment?
Yeah, too deep for Nate. Here comes Nate checking traffic, Nate.
Yes, sir. This one brought to you by KIRO Newsradio App. Everett Marysville is a half hour already this afternoon. It is really thick from 526 into Marysville. And northbound 529 is packed between Everett and Marysville. Probably save some time still, though, if you go that route. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes. Seattle to Everett also at 50 minutes. So 405 we're slow between Bellevue and Kirkland. Then you're going to clear out until you get yourself into Alderwood. And I-5 slows from Northgate up to 164th there in Mill Creek. North 405 in the south end, we're bumper to bumper from South Center through those Renton S curves. South Center to Bellevue, a 35-minute commute. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, 45 minutes. We're slow between Renton and Kent. And then it's stop and go between State Route 18 and Puyallup. Seattle to Federal Way, a 45-minute commute. And down to the county line, both directions of I-5 are slow between State Route 18 and Fife. Text app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates and straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. If you had to live your life over and over and over again and have to wear glasses, is that torture? The answer yes on that one, especially if you're over the age of 50 and you don't want to wear glasses anymore. No more readers, no more contacts. But what do? You can't just walk around bumping into things and not being able to read anything. You know what you do? You go to K2 Vision RLE. Now, RLE stands for Refractive Lens Exchange. Now, there are a bunch of different places that you can have this done, but I am going to highly recommend my friends over there at K2 Vision. Why? Well, they've done more than 150,000, so you know you're in good hands. You will also find that Dr. Kopstein and the other doctors there are very, very, very specific about the patients that they work on. When I went in, Kopstein said to me, I'm not going to do this unless your eyes are really bad. I'll tell you to come back in 10, 15, or 20 years. I want to have the best result for you. And he looked at my eyes. He goes, oh, my gosh, let's get this done. And we did. 5 minutes in one eye, 5 on the other. Go back in. I got 20/20 vision. K2visionrle.com. That's K2visionrle.com.
I've lived here almost my entire life.
Seattle's morning news host, Charlie Harger.
I love Seattle. I love that I'm able to raise my children here.
Hear Charlie's 7:35 commentary every morning on Seattle's morning news.
So when I see something that I think might need some attention, that's me pointing out areas of improvement. That is not me saying that Seattle is somehow bad.
You can watch all of Charlie's commentaries anytime on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Summer is for going big.
Julio! Dead center field, solo home run, 4-0 Mariners.
Summer is for showing out.
Crawford, out of the glove, Emerson to first. What a play!
Summer is for Mariners baseball.
Cal Raleigh with an RBI double. The big thumper comes through in the clutch.
Where else do you get 9 innings of eye-popping swings and snags? Plus fireworks that make your feet dance and your jaw drop. Oh yeah, and the guys have a dance of their own, a wind dance.
Party time at T-Mobile Park in the sunshine.
Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
The action continues at T-Mobile Park all summer long. Don't miss out on 2 great matchups later this month. Julio and the Mariners are squaring off in back-to-back interleague series against the Chicago Cubs, August 21st to 23rd, and the Philadelphia Phillies, August 24th to 26th. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Hello, sweltering Seattle. John Curley here. Is your home staying cool? Are you losing sleep because it's just too hot? At Home Comfort Alliance, the goal is not to sell you a new system. It's to fix the one that you have. Repair first, replace only if it truly makes sense, saving you time and money. If your system's done, a heat pump gives you both cooling and heating for year-round comfort. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Guys, if you have low energy or reduced drive, it could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, start with a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words weren't written for history books. They were written for you. But it's hard to pursue happiness when aging is part of everyday life. John Curley here. Longevity Medical Clinic was created to help people with overall wellness and longevity, including diabetes management, heart health, weight management, inflammation reduction, nutrition, cognitive health, hormone therapy, and more. I can tell you from personal experience, being a patient for 17 years, I have a richer, fuller life, and I'm better able to pursue my own happiness. As America celebrates 250 years of independence, give yourself the chance to reclaim yours. Independence from aging. Take control of your health before small issues become big problems. Experience a smarter, proactive approach to aging, backed by decades of experience with longevity. Do what I did and feel like yourself again. Get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out how at lmclinic.com.
The Black Crowes, live in the Tulalip Amphitheater, Sunday, August 30th. Tickets are on sale now. Details at TulalipCasino.com.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
I was hoping Joe would find a different story, but all right, it is National Left-Handers Day. And as a left-hander, thank you, everybody, for recognizing all the great things we've done. Number of presidents, it's crazy to think Bush and was it Clinton and Obama,
all your
Reagan,
favorites.
a lot of them left-handers. Through society, the left-hander was considered to be sort of well on the devil's side. Mm-hmm. Michelangelo's great fresco paintings, all the goats on the left, or anybody on the left was considered that you're damned to hell. On the right side of Christ, those are all the sheep. Those are all the good. They were going to heaven. So maybe left was bad, right was good. Left is also considered there's a hygiene problem, because if you weren't using toilet paper and you're using your left hand to kind of do the business, don't look at me like that. It's a cultural thing. Oh, do we start judging other cultures now? Is that what we're doing, Andrew?
I just want to know what we're talking about here.
What do you think we're talking about? We're talking about using scissors. And normally they get the right scissors, the lefties are the other ones. They would have, for us, when I was in school, they had little green rubbery, that you knew those were left-handed scissors. Did you ever have those?
No.
Yeah. Did you ever? Anybody?
Yeah, I did.
Of course you didn't. Thank you.
It's strange when you try to use those with the opposite hand. You just can't.
Now you know the hell that I live with.
Uh-huh.
By the way, why is it, everybody, that if you think of a sink, there's the right and the left side on the sink, where does the hot water come from, left or right?
Right.
Left.
Why left?
Because hot water is evil.
Now you're just saying stuff. You know what? You're staying after school. What came first, hot water or cold water?
Cold water came first.
That's right. So it was later in the sink that they added the hot water, and already the little faucet was on the right side. So they're like, oh, we need a place to put the hot water. It's later, so in the left side. So left side, the hot water, right side, cold water. And so as a lefty, I just naturally always go for the hot water on the left side to clean my filthy hands, Andrew. There was a study that came out in the 80s saying, left-handers die sooner than right-handers. That turned out to be not true necessarily. You do better in sports, but you will never be able to play polo as a left-hander. Everybody is right-handed. Why is that? Think about it. Thinking. Mm-hmm.
Easier to make a goal that way.
Good guess for somebody that didn't get enough oxygen at birth. Good for you. All right, Nate. Nate's playing hurt today because his excuse was his wife got her hair done, and then he's like, it took a long time, so I had a couple of boadies.
True story, though.
It is a true story.
Yeah. Those IPAs, man.
Oh, yeah, and a few other things as well. The thing is, everybody has to go, so everyone is right-handed. They're all playing right-handed, because if all of a sudden you had some guy coming along with a left hand, you'd smash into somebody's head, or you'd hit the other one. Everyone's going the same direction or the opposite directions, but they're all working with the same hand. All of a sudden, you threw a left-hander out there, somebody could easily get whacked with the thing. So there's no left-hand polo players. There we go. But it is our day. They don't have one, thank you. They don't have a right-hander's day, do they?
No,
nothing for you guys.
Nope.
We are a smaller.
Every day is a right-hander's
That's
day.
true. We're the lefties. I don't know what the percentage, but it's pretty small. I had a friend of mine. He was so jealous of me being left-handed. He's like, I wish I were left-handed. It's so cool being left-handed. It's like, yeah, well, drink it in. Here I am using my left hand. The nuns didn't like the left-handers. This is before I was in school, and I've heard the stories. They used to tie your left hand behind your back and make you right-handed. You heard that, Andrew?
My grandfather was a victim of that.
Really?
He was a left-handed.
Yeah, messed up a lot of people. It stuck to stutter. Didn't you know that?
No.
Oh, you got such an easy life.
That's why I would choose to continue it over and over.
Tying into the last segment, here comes Nate checking traffic.
Linwood, Seattle just jumped an hour, 15-minute commute. It is packed from Northgate all the way to I-90. That's the only thing slowing you down on this route. Turns into a parking lot there at Lake City Way. Southbound 99 is heavy from the Aurora Bridge to the stadium. Still a much better option for you. Linwood to Bellevue is just 25 minutes in comparison if you can do 405. Mine are slowing through Alderwood and Canyon Park. And then once you get into Bellevue, Bellevue, you're going to slam on the brakes right there at 520, and that continues all the way to the VMAC, Bellevue to South Center, 40 minutes. North 5 in Seattle, just past the West Seattle Bridge. We've got a new collision block in 2 center lanes. This is in the middle of a backup from the Michigan Curve all the way to the Ship Canal Bridge. Seattle to Federal Way, 40 minutes. We're heavy from 405 now to 516, and Tacoma to Olympia, holding steady at a 50-minute drive. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate Connors. Seattle Hot Tub Company. I didn't even know that I had this long relationship with you because more than, I guess, 15 years ago or something, we bought a house in Sammamish, and the people were really nice. Like, oh, well, you'll certainly enjoy the hot tub, and you're going to love working with the guy that comes by and cleans the thing. And he was one of the nicest people. And then when I found out that I had a chance to talk about Seattle hot tubs, they're like, yeah, we used to service your. I said, that was you guys? You were the best. Now I get a chance to talk about how amazing they are. The fact that if you want a swim spa or a cold plunge, which is I'm going to be getting, or of course a hot tub, there's really only one place to go, Seattle Hot Tub. Now what happens when you walk in there, you're going to notice, like, where's the fancy showroom? You don't need to pay for a fancy showroom. All the prices are right there. There's no bait and switch. There's no, there's a price for this or that. And you're not going to go to a parking lot and buy it. Excuse me, where'd you guys go for customer service? You bought it in a parking lot. Don't do that. Go to Seattle Hot Tub, where everybody goes to get swim spas and cold plunges and hot tubs, because they service everything. They stand behind everything, and the price is right there for you. The best when it comes to customer service, the best when it comes to selection. That is Seattle Hot Tub Company.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
It's Olympic Hot Tub's 49th birthday, and you get the gifts. Big savings on saltwater hot spring spas, plus free Bluetooth music and interest-free financing for 3 years. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
If you haven't been to the Earthwise Salvage Lumber Warehouse in Soto yet, you're missing out. Beams, flooring, shelves, live edge slabs, and so much more. One-of-a-kind pieces that show up one day and disappear the next. This stuff is rare, it's real, and once it's gone, it's gone. Contractors, designers, DIYers, no time to lumber around. Inventory changes daily, and the good stuff does not wait. Earthwise Salvage Lumber Warehouse. Open in Soto. Go to ewsalvage.com.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
We beat box stores in design, selection, and price. Sound Kitchen and Bath's new signature cabinets come in stunning colors, stains, and styles at unbeatable prices. Why settle for box store design when you could have a gorgeous custom kitchen or bath from Sound Kitchen and Bath? We create one-of-a-kind spaces that are timeless. Great value from a team that cares. Call today. Sound Kitchen and Bath, soundkitchenandbath.com.
Download the KIRO News Radio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO News Radio app.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian
civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The war with Iran now in its 6th month, and some military families are warning that sailors on board the USS Abraham Lincoln are dealing with the impact of the extended deployment in the Middle East and dwindling essentials. The crew has spent more than 200 days at sea. ABC's Louis Martinez says the Navy denies reports of suicide attempts.
I spoke with another official who did confirm that, yes, there was one sailor who was reported overboard last month and was quickly recovered at sea. But that incident is under investigation right now to determine intent. We also have learned from that official that re-enlistment, which would be an indicator of morale aboard the ship, is up in recent months.
Residents in the Midwest dealing with severe flooding east of Indianapolis. Swift water rescues taking place today. Officials say the damage is widespread. The death toll in Colombia now tops 270 after Monday's powerful earthquake. Officials say 170 buildings collapsed. This is ABC News. The NTSB out with new findings in the investigation into a Ryanair plane over Greece last month, saying broken engine parts shattered a window that led to a man being partially sucked out of a hole until passengers pulled him back in.
When the Boeing 737 took off, passengers and crew reported abnormal engine vibrations that got worse over 9 minutes before what was described by some on board as an explosion. When a window was shattered, the plane depressurized and a man was partially sucked out before being pulled back in. The NTSB saying it found multiple fan blades broke and punctured the plane. The blade showed signs of metal fatigue even though they had been inspected in May. The NTSB says it is aware of other fan blade issues on 737s and is looking to see if there's a connection. Alex Stone, ABC News.
A heat wave gripping parts of Europe again. Today, the UK recording its hottest day of the year yet, just over 100 degrees in West London. Temperatures in parts of France reaching 106 degrees. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Coming up, Seattle's mayor reacts to a couple's recall efforts. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, it's getting pretty busy out there, especially heading through Seattle. Linwood to Seattle is at an hour and 15-minute commute, and the only thing slowing you down is this hefty backup from Northgate to I-90 around Lake City Way. This turns into an absolute parking lot for you. So get over to 99. You'll get through this through downtown a little quicker, but it is packed from the Aurora Bridge to the stadiums. North 5, just past the West Seattle Bridge, we're dealing with a collision blocking your two center lanes. This is right in the middle of a solid backup from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. It's now 35 minutes to get through this. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 35 minutes on 520. You're going to jam up at the Arboretum. 25 minutes on I-90. You're slow from the Mercer Lid to I-5. South 405 in Bellevue, you're bumper to bumper from 520 all the way to the VMAC. Bellevue to South Center is a 40-minute trip. And Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is at 50 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson responds to a recall effort against her. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
A couple living along Aurora Avenue North filed the paperwork and they cited dereliction of duty. Melinda Jacobson says it all came down to this.
I've been thinking about this for a while, but the icing on the cake, so to speak, was when she did a forced resignation of Chief Barnes, and that did it.
In a written response, the mayor said, "We are aware the petition has been filed. While it does not appear to have merit, our focus remains where it belongs, on making life safer and more affordable for the people of Seattle." James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Washington's Attorney General claiming a major victory against Kalshi. That's the online prediction markets that lets you put money on everything from sports to elections. King County judge ordered the company to stop offering those contracts in our states by September 2nd or face a fine. When he announced a lawsuit in March, Attorney General Nick Brown argued Kalshi was violating the state's gambling laws.
Kalshi really is just a bookie with a fancy name and a huge amount of venture capital behind them.
Now, Kalshi maintains it's a federally regulated prediction market and says it is considering legal options as the case continues in courts. The daughter of Bill Gates facing serious accusations over her new tech startup. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery explains.
Phoebe Gates and her co-founder are accused of intentionally taking credit for online sales they did not drive. Their browser app, FIA, is designed to find discount codes during online checkout. But a Bloomberg report says leaked messages show the founders pushed a feature that secretly collected retail commissions. The app took credit for sales even when shoppers never actually used the product. Internal communications reveal the founders knew about the deceptive practice for at least 7 months. Multiple reports say it's unclear whether Gates could face criminal charges. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Well, that $1 billion Powerball jackpot went to Illinois, but Washington did not walk away empty-handed. A lot of early officials here say the recent jackpot run produced nearly 500,000 winning tickets in the state, totaling more than $4.2 million. That includes a single $1 million winner. Check those tickets. To your forecast now, we have sunshine and haze mixed in this afternoon, and a red flag warning in effect for the Olympics and the Cascades, where there are some thunderstorms in the mix at this hour. Right now, 79 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Well, good evening. Today, I picked my wrong time to speak because I didn't realize what type of meeting we have. I'm here on one reason to speak because there's some property on 144th.
Okay.
And 53rd.
Right.
I don't know what everybody's talking about. I know we got different things. When I came here, there was just a ditch. There was no water there. And now I understand we won't let the people build there because it's a wetland.
Yeah.
That is not a wetland. It's never have been a wetland. It's never have been. Then we got a problem because I want to know, how do we determine that as a wetland?
Yeah.
From a land of grass and trees with a ditch on it, all of a sudden become a wetland.
Yeah.
The only time that land become a wetland is when it rains. Thank you, but that is not a wetland, Council. Look at it and look at it hard. Thank you.
Well, there we are. That's what democracy looks like right there. There we go.
He showed up to, I believe it was a data center meeting. But he had
to make sure the wetland people were well represented. Boy, Rance is just salivating over the legislator that got pulled over for DUI. Do you see him in there?
No.
It's like, oh, I got her for a DUI. Her car was on top of another car. She was insulted when the police officer wanted to know how many drinks she had. Did you see that story? I was like,
Yeah, I did. Wasn't that interesting?
I am grateful to all the members of this committee and all the members.
Not him. Not
could
him.
Have been.
No,
could have been.
Not DUI. It's so funny. The stories goes. Our desks are back there, and we hear the other shows. Let's do this. Let's do that. Hey, we're gonna do this. Oh, this would be good. Let's get in here. I'm trying to go. Should we? Does that interest you? She was like, no. Like, the other shows like, yeah. Hey, we're gonna get this and that. It's like, what? Should we have that person?
Do we work for the same company? Are we doing a good job?
What is this thing going on over here? Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. It's the same for all the shows. 1-888-973-5476. Let's see. The Renton Council, they decided that to vote to end the flock safety contract as the city prepares to Cover the cameras. I like the fact that they're going to cover the cameras with.
There are 24 flock cameras spread out across Renton.
Anybody knows what a flock camera is? They're up there on the highway. They're on the roadways, and every single car that goes by. So you get your car stolen, like we got our car stolen. The cops put in the make and the model of the car and the license plate. So every car that goes by, the thing goes beep, takes a picture, beep, 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 takes pictures. And all of a sudden, your stolen car, which the computer knows to look for, it goes boop, and there it is. Takes the photo, moves it over to another file, then lets the police know that car was just seen traveling at this speed, heading in that direction. There's your stolen car. And then another flock camera, as it's going along, would say, oh, and now it's on this road. So once it's kind of got tagged, then the cops are able to find it. So that's exactly what happened with Nick's car, which mysteriously got stolen from the SeaTac airport. And the cop, who was listening to the show while he found the car, he said, I heard Curley talking about the car. Then he knew where it was. He went right over the hotel motel where it was, and he backed him in, and then they got him out. The guy's like, oh, it's my brother's car, some garbage. Anyway, so that's the way the cameras work. The reason people don't like them is because it takes a picture of every single license plate, every single car. You think to yourself, well, don't I have some expectation of privacy as I drive from here to there? Why are they taking photos? So the people in Renton, the city council in Renton, has decided they're going to do something about it.
Like this one, you'll see them on most corners. This is an ongoing debate. On one hand, people are concerned the cameras violate privacy and trust. On the other, police say they can be critical in their investigations. Renton's flock cameras have been off since May when the city council voted to pause the recordings. Now an extra step is being taken. The council voted 6-1 last week to physically cover the cameras, saying the move could help rebuild public trust.
It's real fear from our community getting disappeared, and I think that it's important for us to do that.
Renton City Council member Carmen Rivera also says covering the cameras is a worthwhile precaution.
Okay. So one person, I'm sure they had a group of people come in and say, yeah, we don't like the cameras. I'm thinking like, okay, there's a good little experiment you got going there. You turn them off, in May? How many? So you could compare it. How many stolen cars were you able to find prior? And how many stolen cars are you able to recover now? If the flock cameras are working, is it not benefiting the people of Renton? But you hear from people, we don't feel safe. Okay. That's your feeling. Where's your data?
I think it's something that is just an easy, simple fix that tells the residents, one, that we're listening and that we're trying to foster that trust and that transparency.
But not everyone agrees. Councilmember James Albertson says physically covering the cameras won't make a difference from what's already been done.
Covering the cameras is not an exhibition of trust. It is an action saying, hey, listen, the cameras are off, but maybe they aren't off. We'll cover them up.
A report from the city shows that flock cameras help solve crime, gathering information about vehicles, not people, alert police to cars associated with missing people, murder suspects, or ones that are stolen. They don't use facial recognition or search for personal traits like race, names, and addresses. City data shows the automatic license plate cameras captured more than 5.2 million images over a 15-day period before the cameras were paused. That data deleted after 21 days.
Okay, so this is what Flock has. I think they announced it yesterday or today. The people that make the cameras and sell the stuff that, well, what's your problem? You don't like us retaining the data as long as we do? Fine. So we'll just, and it won't hold every one of them. Just the ones that come up, the ones that are stolen, catches those and throws the rest away. No storage of data, won't hold anything. You won't have to worry about it. That's your problem, that you worry that somehow they're holding this material and they shouldn't hold the material. Flock is trying to adjust to the marketplace. My point is, I don't care about somebody saying, I don't feel safe. Well, those are your feelings. Now tell me why. Specifically, you don't. The dog bit my leg. The dog came in the house. This is an actual physical action that I can show that I have a reason to be concerned about that particular dog. Your feelings are certainly something that need to be addressed, but if you're going to be making some sort of decision upon something, show me where. But they get a bunch of people that show up at the meetings and they tell them they don't feel safe. They don't like the thing tracking them for some reason. But if there's a benefit, which is always the story. You go back to Hobbes, right? And Hobbes was the philosopher that said life is short and brutish and violent, and then it ends, and it's a terrible way to live. But We give up some of our security in order to make sure that we don't have somebody just walk down the street and kill us. So we do give up something of our freedom to be a safer people. If not, just everybody would live just some random life and everybody's going around just doing horrible things to somebody. But we abdicate some of our freedom. We give it over to a force that we are all in agreement that force will be the thing that protects us from some other person. It's a third party involved between two parties. And that third party is there writing laws, enforcing laws, and stopping somebody else from going over and just killing you. And like that's the trade-off.
Right. But that system exists, right? With the police force, who we all agree is if they're coming to arrest us for some reason, or we basically we give them authority over us because we've all agreed on that.
We want these laws. We need somebody to enforce the laws.
Right. The trouble with that Flock is running into, and the reason that they made the change in terms of the storage and stuff wasn't because people felt unsafe at city council meetings. It's because they had people, officers in certain precincts around the country were abusing the system.
Yes.
And they were using it to track like
girlfriends and
things like that.
Yes.
So that became problematic, and they wanted to put a stop to that. The other problem that they're facing, or that has people concerned, and they said it in that piece, that they don't use facial recognition or track anything other than the license plates. But they can. It has the ability to do that. And so that's where people are trying to at least get legislation on the books or something that prevents it from taking that next step, because the technology exists at this point. And it didn't when they started putting these cameras in.
So a city council given a choice of like a menu. So the Flock people are like, okay, it can just track license plates and hold it for and only find the stolen ones, and it dumps the rest. You like that? That's A. You want to choose B? B is it can hold the stuff for 22 days. I don't like it. C, we can do this. We can track people's faces. You can put it all. You're going to pay more for that one. Which one of these on the menu do you want? Well, the city council would go, whether it's Renton or any other city, well, we don't feel comfortable with B and C. We're okay with A. If we can show that we pay X amount of dollars every single year to have these cameras, be able to find these stolen cars, the cost for car insurance goes down, people get their cars back, the theft goes down, we think we'd take A on our menu of ABC, whatever it is they're offering.
Right.
So in this case, that would be pretty simple. But just to simply say, oh, we're going to cover them up or take them down, because why? Because why?
Again, I hear what
because
you're
you're
saying.
Scared.
Well, here's the bigger reason, and I don't think I don't think anybody's articulated it well in any of these meetings that I've heard. But I sent you this article today about Toka, which is a company it's a government security company, and they only sell their product or their software to governments and militaries. And what it has the capability of doing, and has had the capability of doing going back as far as 2022, is it can go into any camera, like a Flock camera, a web camera, a phone camera, any camera that is connected to the internet, essentially, and they can monitor them. They can alter the footage. They can they can make it look as if your car drove over the Aurora Bridge when it did not, and then they can cover their tracks, and there's absolutely no way to detect that they had ever been in there. And that's just a bigger problem, because that's whether you have a Flock camera or not, that exists.
Now you're getting into international espionage. Right. The doctoring video, creating video in some way to create some sort of evidence. But it's a company, and you pay for their service. So you think some city somewhere in the United States is going to pay to have this stuff done?
No, I know. I think it doesn't. They can do that. They can access Renton's Flock cameras, whether Renton wants them to or not, and they can leave no trace that they have ever done so. That's a bigger concern for people with these cameras than just.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I got it. Because this thing now can supersede any sort of work that's done by the normal camera in order to create some deception.
Yeah, and it's very dystopian, and unfortunately, it doesn't stop at flock cameras. It's essentially any camera, any CCTV camera that is connected to a government system that happens to be connected online. They can
Joe, the genie.
Yeah, I know.
Out of the bottle on all of it.
I'm just saying, it is. It's not.
And I know I'm biased on this because I've actually experienced the benefit of having the car be brought back. And when you get something stolen like that, and especially we had another car, the only was bad was the fact that every day Nick's screaming at me about how I got the car stolen. But then, like all of a sudden, she's like, it was 2 days before the insurance company would tell us, well, that's it, it's gone, we're gonna write it off. And I went home and I see her on her phone, and I go, what are you doing? She goes, I'm shopping for a new car. Oh, are you really? It's like you got the old dog, I think we should probably put Rusty down. Maybe we should take him to that farm and let him run around the farm. Run around the farm, he can't even get up now. Or take tricking Rusty to the farm, and you're looking to get a puppy already. Because here she already had the dog. She had the car named Eleanor, I think the name of the car is. Oh, I love Eleanor. I bought that car with my money. She's crying the whole time as we were driving home because the car got stolen. And then a couple days later, she's looking to replace old Eleanor. Look at this one. Look at that one. Yeah.
Very healing.
Yeah, I guess it's very healing. And then the cop says, anything that was in the car, are these things yours? 20 pairs of Air Jordans. I was like, 20, I think. What size are those? Is this your 9mm? Oh, are these your hoop earrings? Hot sauce and makeup. And Nick was most disgusted by the hoop earrings and makeup. It's like, ugh, throw those out.
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce, exactly right.
What size were the Nikes?
I don't know. I never found, but 20 pairs were not mine. So they really scored on that thing because that's that Range Rover with the 600 horsepower engine.
Right.
That thing hauls.
And it wasn't very.
They didn't mess it up at all.
Other than
20 pairs of Nikes and some hot sauce, which they didn't spill, the hoop earrings, the makeup, and a couple
hot sauce.
Yes, hot sauce. And they were dumb enough or nice enough to list all the casinos that they went to because they would put in the navigation system.
Rookies.
Yeah. Why is that a rookie? Is that a rookie move? What do you normally do when you steal a car? You don't put in where you're going?
Absolutely not. No. Use your own devices, please.
I'll say this. Of all the different casinos, you know which one they didn't go to? They didn't go to Muckleshoot Casino.
They don't serve criminals there.
That's right. But they do take our text messages. 1-888-973-5476. By the way, are we going to get this? No. No. I was trying to see if we get that person to come on. We're still. Oh, here she is. Yeah. So she's coming on about an hour and a half or something from now. You know the story about all the cats that were on the boat there in Tacoma, right? We hear that the person had the cats were like, well, I didn't have the money to spay and neuter. It's $30 if you're poor or you don't have a lot of money. It's $40 to $80 they spay the cats in Tacoma. If you don't have any money, they'll do it for you for free. But so this person just let the cat just keep going. It was like a cat house, right? And then it became a cat boat. Then cat after cat after cat. So our guest is coming on to explain. And what was your favorite quote from her? She doesn't respect private property?
No. Private property means nothing to me.
Yeah. Okay, good. So she told the story, and the cops caught her.
She's a rogue cat trapper.
Ah.
Saving cats.
Yes, she is. If you need a
Legally
cat
or
trapper.
not. Yes.
Yes. Ugh. Does she have any video?
She sent.
Well, we can alter it if we have it. Apparently,
right.
there's this place in Israel that makes them. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Yeah, Carpet Liquidators has our update. Everett to Marysville plan on a half hour this afternoon. We're solid from the Boeing Freeway all the way to the Tulalip Resort Casino now. Does thin out after 529. Northbound 529 is thick between Everett and Marysville. So Bellevue to Everett and Seattle to Everett are both taking you 1 hour. Linwood to Seattle is up to an hour and 20 minutes. You got a crash in North Gateway to add to this in the HOV lane. From there, it is packed all the way to I-90, and you're putting along at about 7 miles an hour here. Southbound 99, you're bumper to bumper now from Green Lake to the stadiums. North 5, solid from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge, about a half hour to get through this. We cleared our crash just past the West Seattle Bridge that had 2 center lanes blocked for a little while. And in Renton, we've got a new crash southbound 167 right there at the 405 interchange. It's blocking your right and left lanes, leaving just the center lane open. August is Karastan month at Carpet Liquidators. Purchase beautiful Karastan carpet and get free installation. Why pay retail? They got you covered at Carpet Liquidators. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I know there's certain parts of the house that aren't functioning, and you know what they are, because it just, if you had more storage, people are like, gosh, maybe you should do a rental, unit or something. Don't do that, paying a couple $100 every single month because you can't find a place to store something. Just solve the problem right away and have Closets by Design come. Family run, 22 years in business. They know exactly what they're doing. You're going to get custom storage, so the pantry will look better and it'll store everything. The same thing with all the closets as well, because when people build homes and you've been living in the house for a while, maybe it's a couple of just sort of wire shelves or something they got from the big box store, but real closets that give you real storage with a bunch of cubbies and you can put everything aside. Think about the one place in the house that's just not functioning correctly because you just don't have enough things to put something somewhere where you need it. Like now we have an entire garage that has a whole wall of cabinets. And the same thing when it came to the pantry. The same thing when it came to the laundry room. And it was so customized. They made the brand new cabinets match the floor, but not customized price. 40% off plus 15% and 0% financing. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetsbydesign.com.
KIRO News Radio is honored to bring home one of the nation's top awards in our industry, the prestigious National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news coverage. One award is the result of our team's hard work every single day, and none of it would be possible without you. You trust us with important information every time you choose us. Whether you listen over the air, on the KIRO News Radio app, or you watch us on YouTube, thank you.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Hi, I'm Terry from Sky Nursery, and our summer event season is here. We have something exciting planned for you every weekend all summer long. See thousands of beautiful flowers at the 50th Anniversary Dahlia Show. Enjoy a 2-day Ikebana exhibition on Japanese floral arranging. Join workshops on mosaics, bonsai, and even carnivorous plant terrariums. As a family-owned garden center, Sky Nursery loves partnering with local artists and makers to celebrate a vibrant creative community. See our summer schedule at skynursery.com.
John Curley here. A few years back, we inherited a hot tub when we moved into a new house, and the previous owner said, "You gotta call Seattle Hot Tub. You'll love them." She's right. Seattle Hot Tub Company offers quality products, transparent, consistent pricing, and backs everything up with excellent service. You won't find some fancy showroom with high price sales, but you will find American-made tubs, swim spas, and cold plunges at warehouse pricing and easy financing. Visit SeattleHotTub.com and go see them in person. You'll feel the difference.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify a key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
Hey there, Dawn Riley with Olympic Hot Tub. It's our 49th birthday, and we're celebrating by giving you the gifts. Outstanding savings on saltwater hot spring spas, free Bluetooth music, and interest-free financing for 3 years. Plus, exciting savings on endless pool swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges. How's that for a birthday to remember? Ends August 24th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. The rescue of 61 cats from a Tacoma sailboat put the city's entire animal control team out of service for more than 3 days. And Officer Brittany Kirsch tells KIRO Radio's Jake and Spike that work continues.
We're still checking daily. Our Marine Services unit is actually out on the water currently, keeping eyes on to see if any more cats pop up.
Meantime, the man who lived on that boat says he simply could not afford to get the cats fixed as their numbers multiplied. He tells the Seattle Times he left the boat to get treatment after a cat bit him. A federal investigation is released showing pieces of an engine blade damaged a window on a Ryanair Boeing 737 over Greece before a passenger was partially sucked out of that plane last month. ABC's Alex Stone has more.
Multiple fan blades broke and punctured the Boeing 737 in at least 2 places, according to the NTSB's new preliminary report. It says a fan blade showed signs of metal fatigue, even though they had been inspected in May. Abnormal engine vibrations were heard and felt during takeoff and worsened over 9 minutes before the engine pieces broke off and shattered a window. The NTSB says bird remains were found in the engine. There had been 4 bird strikes on the engine over 12 months, but damage had not been detected before the incident. Alex Stone, ABC News.
National average for gas price is now at its highest level ever this late in the calendar year. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery has those numbers.
The national average has never been above $4 a gallon ever for regular after August 12th in the calendar year. It is now at $4.07. Prices usually follow a seasonal cycle, starting low in the winter and climbing through the spring because of higher demand and a switch to more expensive summer blend fuels, then falling in the fall as demand lowers with the start of the school year. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
AAA saying the statewide average now at $5.16 for a gallon of regular, closer to $5.35 in the greater Seattle area. Washington State's ferry system is getting nearly $30 million in federal funding. Money comes from the Federal Transit Administration to help cover fuel costs for ferry routes serving the Anacortes San Juan Islands and Port Townsend Coupeville runs. It also supports King County Metro and its expansion of Seattle's passenger-only ferries. At 4:32 now, we head to the real-time traffic desk, and here's Nate Connors.
It's a busy one. Global Credit Union has the update. Let's start you up north, Everett to Marysville, a half-hour drive, and it is solid from the Boeing Freeway all the way to the Tulalip Resort Casino at about State Route 529. It starts to open up for you. Northbound 529 is bumper-to-bumper between Everett and Marysville. And in South Everett, the South 5 exit to the Boeing Freeway, that off-ramp is now fully blocked by a car fire. Bellevue to Everett is 1 hour. You're slow from Bellevue to Bothell, and then again in Alderwood, approaching the interchange. Seattle to Everett, also a 1 hour drive. Stop and go between Northgate and Mill Creek. Linwood to Seattle, an hour and 20 minutes. We've got a crash at Northgate Way in the HOV lane. From that point on, it is bumper to bumper all the way to I-90. North 5 solid between the Michigan Curve and the Ship Canal Bridge. In Renton, southbound Rainier Avenue south at the 405 interchange there, closer to Southwest Grady Way, a collision takes up the right and left lanes. You're getting by just there in the middle lane. And eastbound 90 midspan, we have a new collision blocking 2 right lanes. You're backed up all the way to I-5. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to your forecast. We have that red flag warning in effect for the mountains, both the Olympics and the Cascades, until 9 o'clock tonight. I'm seeing some thunderstorm activity over the mountains at this hour. And inland, we are seeing hazy skies mixed with some sunshine, highs in the low 80s. Right now, 80 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 Pinpoint Alert Days. Your advance notice to stay safe from heat, smoke, and summer storms. When weather threatens to disrupt your day and your plans, KIRO 7 sounds the alarm and alerts you days in advance. Stay informed, stay ready with KIRO 7 Pinpoint Weather only on KIRO 7 TV.
What's the thunder for?
The summer storms.
Oh, nice. Woo.
I still want to hear the one from a couple days ago that you didn't think was good.
Is that good?
It was good.
How about us yesterday rocking it out?
With Chris?
Yeah, from a bass player from Nirvana.
Yeah.
You know, I asked him because he's doing the Cascade, the new
Cascade Party.
Mm-hmm. And I said to him, "How do you feel about the millionaire's tax?" He goes, "Well, it would be hitting me." Then I asked a slightly impolite question. My mother would stop me right away. Never ask somebody how much money you make. I said, you still, as my father would go, you're still doing all right from that band? Because they stopped playing. Nirvana stopped playing in 94?
94.
94, yeah. And he goes, well, you ever see those Nirvana T-shirts? And I said, yeah. He goes,
me too.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
By the way, he said...
I did mention Buc-ee's.
Not
Buc-ee's Auto, I
barely.
was singing it. Buc-ee's Auto Service Centers, they've got 16 locations, been around for 51 years. High outside ball 2. Mariners continue to struggle in the 8th. No.
8th.
Game's over, John.
I was in the middle. I was acting like I was in the middle of calling the game.
They won today.
You know what they did?
1-0.
They decided they won 1-0, right? What they did is they could have scored more. They said, no, we're going to hold back.
Yeah, why do that? Save some runs for Houston. Pivotal series coming up.
Yeah.
That's right.
This is what they do every year, John.
Yeah, they tease you. They tease you.
Oh, he's coming around.
He's coming around.
He's coming around.
I have never fully ruled out this season. Have I?
Did too.
I've been on the fence.
Broken man yesterday.
I'm broken like every Mariners fan. I've never ruled it out, though.
Oh, okay.
5 games back of Houston. You know what's going to happen.
Right.
They're going to go to Houston and sweep the Astros.
Yeah,
give us all support.
Here we go.
Bring us back. Make us feel the vibes.
Yeah, and then what happens?
They're going to shatter our dreams at the end of the season.
All right, there we go.
That's how it goes every year.
Don't need to watch any more than that.
By the way, Cascade Party, Chris said he was against the millionaire's tax because inevitably it would be the threshold would be lowered.
He said, yes, it would hit me, but yes, they're going to bring it down to everybody else. All right. Thank you for that, Joe. Well, the folks in New Mexico have decided the Department of Justice in New Mexico has filed a suit against the Attorney General in the United States, against the DOJ, because they said, listen, guys, you're not following up on the stuff we want you to look into, because we knew that Epstein, for more than 25 years, had this ranch there, and we're pretty sure there's some bad stuff going on, and you're not investigating. You said you'd come in and investigate, and then you didn't. We're back in there investigating, and when we tried to investigate, you told us, no, we've got it. Well, it's been stymied and stalled for the longest time, so now...
Dave Arenberg, talk to us about this matter. Do you think that the state here has solid legal grounds?
I do, Jonathan. The Attorney General of New Mexico, Torres, was forced to sue DOJ because they refused to hand over unredacted evidence involving potential crimes at Zorro Ranch. Now, the Epstein files reportedly contain around 13,000 references to Zorro Ranch, but the feds are saying, well, victim identities are in there and they're confidential. But New Mexico is not asking the DOJ to publish victims' names on the internet. They're seeking confidential law enforcement access to state, so that state investigators
this is a legal question. Couldn't the people, if you got all of them together, all the parties involved, that their names are going to be out there, you're like, look, we don't want to play this redaction game anymore. Are you okay? If you got them all, you sent them a letter and you said, are you okay if we make your names public? And if we make your name public, then we don't have to worry about them coming back. Oh, we need to protect this person and that person, this person. We're redacting this and that. Are you okay? You got I don't know how many names are going to be on there of all these women, right? Because then you say, this might be the only way we can bring justice to what has happened to you. And your name is going to be made public. Because right now, this stuff, they keep dragging it out. Oh, yeah, but if we did that, then somebody would know this, and then that's...
And they published half the names already on accident.
Yeah, so it's anyway, that's just a quick legal interruption. Hang on.
Figure out what happened in New Mexico and decide whether anyone can still be prosecuted. Remember, the DOJ has already allowed all 535 members of Congress to see unredacted material. So if they could all see it, why can't an attorney general who could actually bring charges?
Here's the weird thing about this ranch. We talked to a guy that was covering this whole thing, and they're digging into it. Epstein buys the ranch for hardly any money at all. I think from the prior governor or something like that. I forget.
I can't remember who sold it to him.
It's somebody in politics, right? They think that there's bodies, young women, children buried there on the ranch. There was all sorts of weird stuff inside there. They had a special area that they built, and the weird suspicions that
incinerators.
Yeah, and I don't know if they also brought those chemicals to this one. I know they brought those to the island, but they wouldn't allow them to look at it. And there was just way too much, 13,000 or more files on this thing. So now they're going to sue to try to get more information.
It does seem like there's just a lot.
There's ongoing litigation about publishing in the public domain some of these unredacted files. In that case, you had at least one victim come forward and say, if these files are published, I want to make sure my name is never published.
okay.
I don't support that. But here, with respect to Raul Torres's lawsuit, survivors and their advocates are cooperative with Raul Torres's investigation. They want to see it go forward. And
Isn't it weird that this thing's been going on and on and on? It falls off the news, and then when it pops back up again, you're like, really? Are we still talking about Epstein?
Oh, I'll talk to anybody about it.
This guy in New York City puts little plastic eggs all around the city. You find them, you open up the egg, and then it had... No, Teeny, no. Little plastic eggs, and inside is a piece of paper that tells you where you can find more on the Epstein stuff.
In 12 days, I become the first American man facing court over the Epstein files before anyone actually in the files. And my crime is that I organized an Epstein files Easter egg hunt all across Manhattan to expose the Epstein class. Today's egg is on the name of a university. Steve Tisch. Now we're going to scan the QR code. Read this email. April 26, 2013, 5 years after Jeffrey Epstein pleaded guilty to soliciting a 14-year-old girl. The subject line in writing on a Department of Justice document reads, Ukrainian girl. A man writes to Epstein about a woman Epstein has introduced him to. He asked Epstein in his own words, pro or civilian? Epstein writes back, quote, no, but I will ask, all confidential, I will get all info. Did you contact...
Everybody knows what pro or civilian means, right? Is she a professional prostitute or just a regular person not in the field?
The great ass fake tit. She's a character, a 10 ass. I am happy to have you as a new but obviously shared interest friend. The man who asked the question, who got that reply, is Steve Tisch, the co-owner and chairman of the New York Giants. His family name is on this building at New York University, the Tisch School of Arts. Now, look at this email. From the same day, April 26, 2013, Jeffrey Epstein writes to Steve Tisch, quote, send me a number to call. I don't like records of these conversations. Steve Tisch writes back. 3 minutes later, the reply is a single line, a phone number. The registered child sex offender told the NFL owner that a paper trail was dangerous. They both knew what they were doing. Tisch was introduced to Epstein by a New York hedge fund manager named Todd Meister. So what is Steve Tisch's defense? His statement to Fox Sports, quote, we had a brief association where we exchanged emails about adult women. We discussed movies, philanthropy, and investments. I did not take him up on any of his invitations and never went to his island. As we all know now, he was a terrible person, someone I deeply regret associating myself with. Steve Tisch has never been investigated or taken to court. He has never been charged with anything. Steve Tisch faces no court that I do. Please follow me and Disrupt so you don't miss a single name. Also, please follow, comment, and share. We are facing incredible algorithmic suppression. We need to get this information out to as many people as possible.
These people are so connected. You could write checks and have stuff just go away.
100%.
Yeah, just bury it. How much? I mean, what do you need? It's the corruption. Everybody's got a price. His name appeared 440 times among the more than 3 million documents in release. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Seattle Sports has the update. Linwood to Seattle, an hour and 10-minute commute. You've got a crash in Northgate Way still in the HOV lane. We've got a tow on scene, so hopefully they'll clear this soon. So that's added to a backup starting now at 130th, and it just gets thicker as you get closer to downtown all the way to I-90 before you're in the clear. Southbound 99, bumper to bumper from Green Lake to the West Seattle Bridge now. North 5 is solid from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal. About a half hour gets you through this. Eastbound 90, mid-span, got a collision blocking 2 right lanes. You're backed up to I-5. Westbound 90 packed from Island Crest Way to I-5. Westbound 520 is packed from 84th to I-5. Bellevue to South Center, a 40-minute trip. We've got a hefty backup from 520 all the way to the VMAC. In Renton, we clear that collision southbound on Rainier Avenue South, right at the southbound 405 on-ramp. It is on your shoulder there. Tacoma to Olympia, 50 minutes. Got some slowing through South Tacoma, brief backup through DuPont, and then more backups between Lacey and Olympia. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate Connors. A bad elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, shoulder, whatever it is bugging you. My hip was in bad shape. Flying on a plane, I had to put like a pillow or something underneath my leg. Driving the car for more than an hour, the pain just would go all the way down into my ankle and knee because I had all sorts of problems there. That is all in the past because I went to go see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did my research. I looked online. I talked to a whole bunch of people that knew Wagner. And I thought, I'm going to go see this guy. So I sent my MRI, my x-ray in there. I walk into the office, really nice place. People very, very friendly. First time I met Dr. Wagner, we start talking. He goes, so what were you involved in? Because he goes, you look like you're an athlete. I said, I did a bunch of Ironman and marathons. He's done all this stuff. So he knows exactly how you feel if you're out of the game, whether it's running an Ironman or a marathon or just simply playing golf or tennis or going for a walk. He wants you back in the game. And how do you get back in the game? Your own stem cells. He's done more than 20,000 of these procedures. This is the guy to see. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com.
Others doubted us. Others didn't believe. But for us,
we did not care.
We showed the world what this city is all about.
Congratulations, your Seahawks, Super Bowl 60 champion.
This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Seahawks.com today.
Hello, sweltering Seattle. John Curley here. Is your home staying cool? Are you losing sleep because it's just too hot? At Home Comfort Alliance, the goal is not to sell you a new system. It's to fix the one that you have. Repair first, replace only if it truly makes sense, saving you time and money. If your system's done, a heat pump gives you both cooling and heating for year-round comfort. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder. An equal housing opportunity builder. If you haven't been to the Earthwise Salvage Lumber Warehouse in Soto yet, this is the week. Fresh shipments land every day. Beams, flooring, shelves, live edge slabs, and so much more. One-of-a-kind pieces you can't find anywhere else. Contractors, designers, DIYers, no time to lumber around. Inventory changes daily. This stuff is rare, it's real, and once it's gone for good. So get here first. Earthwise Salvage Lumber Warehouse. Open in Soto. Go to ewsalvage.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Progressive knows when it's 3 a.m. and you can't sleep, your mind starts racing, asking the big questions.
Why doesn't glue stick to the inside of the bottle? How come you never see baby pigeons? Am I breathing weird right now, or have I always breathed like this?
Progressive can't help with those questions. But if the question keeping you up at night is about your insurance, rest assured, we're here online when you need us, 24/7, 365.
But seriously, where are all the baby pigeons?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
At Sound Kitchen and Bath, every kitchen is custom. Hi, this is Tammy Michaels. We've created thousands of beautiful custom kitchens featuring gorgeous cabinetry and finishes with extraordinary woods like American black walnut and cherry. All design styles from mid-century modern, traditional, contemporary, and more. We excel at custom kitchen design and will make the process easy and enjoyable for you. Sound Kitchen and Bath, soundkitchenandbath.com.
Anthony Hamilton with Tony live in the Tulalip Amphitheater Thursday, September 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Details at TulalipCasino.com.
We cover the story, and I guess today we're going to follow tonight anyway, or maybe tomorrow morning. Count Binface. Did he beat him?
We don't know yet.
Right. In the UK, whether or not Nigel ends up losing to Count Binface. He has a face like a bin. He's got basically like a plastic, I think it's metal.
Trash can.
Trash can on his face. You don't know what he looks like, but his final campaign pitch.
Hello, planet Earth. Hello, humans. Count Binface here, intergalactic space warrior, leader of the Recyclons from Sigma 9, and part-time parliamentary candidate. Now, I know you have your differences. I know there's a lot of big stuff going on. But to all of you who are able, turn your gaze to an incredible part of your world, the beautiful constituency of Clacton. Because there, on Thursday, the 13th of August, I will be standing for election to the British Houses of Parliament.
Yes.
Alongside 33 other hopefuls. And for the first time, I have a chance to actually win. Vote for me. The people of Clacton will get a local champion to make their voices heard like never before. To help improve schools, hospitals, businesses, arcade grabber machines, pub toilet hand dryer locations, and other things that humans vote for. Join me. Let's take out the trash and make 13th of August Bin Day. Make your votes count.
Nigel Fargel, I think, is at 21%. This guy, Binface, nearly 60% advantage. That's the poll from the whole country, not just the people actually voting. I think people at this point in the UK are like, yeah, let's put him in there. Binface is actually a John Harvey. He's a comedian behind the trash can costume, part of a British tradition of satirical election candidates. They have the official monster raving loony party. Best ever result was over 24,000 votes. 2024 London mayoral race. He previously ran as well. If he wins, he gets in there, but he's not allowed to wear the garbage can on his face.
No, that kind of ruins it, doesn't it?
I know. Then he's just some guy sitting there.
Yeah.
They should change the rules for him.
Agreed.
Come on, Count Thin Face.
First order of business.
There. Hear ye. Here comes Nate checking traffic.
All right, Everton-Marysville is going to take a half hour. We're heavy from 526 to 528. We just reopened the South 5 exit ramp to the Boeing Freeway, bringing relief to that backup starting near Broadway. Linwood to Seattle is going to take an hour and 10 minutes this afternoon. It is absolutely packed from 130th and Northgate all the way to I-90. There are no blocking issues in this backup. It is just sheer volume. North 5 solid from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal. Half hour gets you through this. So eastbound 90 midspan, we've got a collision blocking 2 right lanes. That has you backed up to I-5, and that is adding to that South 5 backup. Westbound 90 packed from Island Crest Way to I-5. Westbound 520 bumper to bumper from 84th to I-5. Let's see, Tacoma to Olympia will take you 50 minutes. A little slowing in South Tacoma, again in DuPont, and then more scattered backups between Lacey and Olympia. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio is honored to bring home one of the nation's top awards in our industry, the prestigious National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news coverage. One award is the result of our team's hard work every single day, and none of it would be possible without you. You trust us with important information every time you choose us. Whether you listen over the air, on the KIRO News Radio app, or you watch us on YouTube, thank you.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we are meant to live free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if the natural effects of aging are slowing you down, it might be time to declare your independence from aging. John Curley here. Longevity Medical Clinic has been treating the undesirable effects of aging for nearly 30 years. They have more clinical experience with actual patient care than any longevity practice in the country. I've been a patient for 17 years. Wow, time flies when you got a lot of energy. I don't know where I'd be today without longevity. Longevity Medical Clinic was started so people can get back to living life on their own terms, walking, working, exercising, and enjoying the moments that matter most. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. Get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Fire up the lights. Lace up the pads.
All you gotta do is throw the pads on and you can tell who want to do it, who don't.
The defending champs are playing football at Lumen Field.
We get to play football today. That's fun. Football, baby! All teed up.
It's the preseason opener. Seahawks, Cowboys. Saturday, kickoff at 5, pregame at 3.
Get your Mario body ready to hit. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Listen wherever you are for free on the KIRO News Radio app.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Seattle Hot Tub carries American-made products, different sizes, different features, different price points. All prices are clearly marked. There's no games, no high-pressure sales pitch. Warehouse pricing and easy financing with hot tubs as low as $90 a month. SeattleHotTub.com.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Seattle loves to celebrate big hits, touchdowns,
Seahawks!
and even parades. This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Seahawks.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. New this hour, a Nevada judge today dismissing a years-long case against electors accused of forging documents in 2020, falsely saying that Donald Trump won that year's presidential election. The war in Iran appearing to take a toll on American service members. Alarming reports of a sailor on the USS Abraham Lincoln going overboard during an unusually long deployment at sea. Growing concerns about mental health, living conditions aboard the aircraft carrier deployed for more than 250 days. But Secretary Pete Hegseth pushing back on the report.
Completely misrepresented. Listen, we make sure that every ship, every crew, every captain has everything we can provide them at every single moment.
Top Democrats in Congress demanding answers from the Pentagon. Cleanup well underway in Indiana after a string of deadly storms. Indiana Governor Mike Braun approving a statewide emergency disaster declaration. Major developments in the federal case against alleged CEO killer Luigi Mangione could change his plea to guilty tomorrow. This is ABC News. Israeli settlers have surrounded a few Palestinian homes in the West Bank, preventing the families from leaving. ABC's Britt Cledit reports.
Israeli forces say they're sending more troops into the occupied West Bank after 2 Palestinian families were trapped in their homes by settlers near Qusra, that's south of Nablus. One of the men inside, Qusay Abu Ridi, says the house was attacked again overnight and that some settlers were still nearby. And it really is another example, something we've seen for ourselves in Qusra as well, of the growing violence involving settlers across the West Bank and the difficulty Israeli forces seem to have in containing it.
Jury selection is underway in California, where 29 states are in court accusing social media giant Meta of designing apps to be addictive to young users. Last week, a New Mexico judge ordered Meta to pay almost $1 billion for contributing to a youth mental health crisis. Meta says it will appeal that decision. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Coming up, shots fired at Seattle police officers. Suspects appear in court. The latest after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
It is a busy one out there. This report brought to you by Seattle Mariners. Everett to Marysville. Plan on a half-hour. Heavy volumes from 526 up to 528. Seattle to Everett has improved. We're down to 50 minutes. You're slow from Northgate in the Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes. It's solid from Kirkland to Bothell. And then it clears out for you with just a brief backup there at the Alderwood interchange. Linwood to Seattle, we've improved. We're down to just an hour at its worst. This was an hour, 20 minutes. So we're still heavy from 130th all the way to I-90. That is a really thick backup when you start to get into the U District. Eastbound 90 mid-span. Our collision now just blocks the right lane. Had 2 lanes blocked. You're backed up to I-5, and this is what's adding to that really thick South 5 backup. Southbound 99, we're bumper to bumper from the zoo to the stadiums. Northbound 99 is heavy through the downtown tunnel, and northbound I-5 solid from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. It's a half hour to get get through this. Don't miss fireworks nights all summer presented by T-Mobile. The next show is August 21st as the Mariners take on the Cubs. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Bail set at $1 million for one of the 3 suspects accused of shooting at an undercover Seattle police officer last night. KIRO 7 TV was in court today as that 26-year-old man faced a judge for the first time, and prosecutors laid out the case against him.
At this time, the state's requesting probable cause for 1 count of attempted murder in the first degree, 1 count of unlawful possession of a firearm in the first degree, and 1 count of drive-by shooting.
Police say that man was in a stolen car that undercover cops were following. Officers say people inside started shooting at them before the vehicle crashed into another car in South Seattle. Now, a 17-year-old suspect is being held in juvenile detention. Another 20-year-old suspect remains at Harborview. And the prosecutor's office tells us there is no indication this case is connected at all to the Bite of Seattle shooting. The man charged with beating 2 people to death in Seattle back in 2024 will not stand trial, at least not now. King County judge today dismissed the case against Liam Krieger, ruling he's incompetent to stand trial. One of his victims had been sleeping in a parking lot, the other on the steps of Town Hall Seattle. Krieger is not being released. He'll be referred for a civil commitments evaluation. A judge today ordered Kalshi to shut down most of its prediction markets in Washington by September 2nd. Today's decision comes after AG Nick Brown sued the company back in March.
Kalshi, in its work, says that what it does is not gambling. They reframe it as a prediction market. But if you spend just a moment on their website, you'll see very easily that this is a gambling site.
Judge's ruling also bars Kalshi from advertising in Washington as this legal fight moves ahead. Kalshi says it disagrees with the ruling and is considering its legal options. The Mariners needed just 1 solo home run today to snap their 6-game losing streak. They shut out the Yankees in New York, beating them 1-0. Starting pitcher Logan Gilbert was dominant.
6 scoreless against the Yankees. 7 big punch-outs for Logan Gilbert. What a day for Logan.
Now the M's head to Houston, sitting 5 games back of those first-place Astros. Their 3-game series starts tomorrow night. Your forecast now, some hazy sunshine at this hour and a red flag warning still in effect for the mountains, both the Cascades and the Olympics, showing some thunderstorm activity at this hour. And temperatures in the upper or lower 80s tonight. Right now, 80 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
We want to go to the heart of this problem, which is the greed and avarice of these oil companies who are still not telling us the truth.
Yeah.
What a bunch of hogwash.
What a hogwash. What a crumb bum. Crazy to hear those words, right? That it was the greed and avarice of the oil company. You know how much money you and we've paid to the CCA, the Climate Commitment Act? $4.3 billion it's taken from us so far. Isn't that amazing? In 2023, the state said, $450 million. Oops! It was $1.8 billion. I don't know when someone's going to do the investigation into this thing, because when they go to audit it, and I'm sorry, it really burns my bacon. Oh, I just made that up.
Yum!
No, Tina, no. It's not a recipe. That every time I fill my car with gas, and I really look around, am I the only one that is outraged by this? People in Cle Elum, I try to get in a conversation with this guy. He's like, does it burn your bacon? He's like, what? Does it upset you that do you know how much money? Now I think it's Lopez Island is up near $6 or somewhere in the San Juan.
I love bacon bits.
Okay, we're not talking to you right now. And we're getting up near $5.59, $5.60. And to know that the state takes that money from you and takes it and gives it to the CCA people, and then they send it out to all these nonprofits. Garbage organizations that do nothing but steal your money, hire a bunch of people, have talking sessions, teach kids how to ride bikes. They took $4.3 billion from us. And they can't even give you the real number as to how much metric tons of CO2 they've reduced. The number that came close to is 78,000 metric tons. So $4.3 billion to reduce 78,000. Pull that somehow out of the atmosphere. And that works out to be, if this is the numbers, if it's even right what we're getting from the Department of Ecology, that would be $55,128 per ton. Now, you can get a ton of CO2 removed with different structures for as little as $40 a ton. But no, we get $4.3 billion. And you look at these different organizations that get this money and just rob us blind. Why doesn't anybody investigate? Todd Myers from Washington Policy Center has been on this thing, and every time he writes the Department of Ecology, hey, can you show us the numbers? How much CO2 have you captured? What are you doing with all the money that you're taking from us that we put into our gas tank? And then somehow, let's hear, can I hear Inslee again just one more time so I can just blow my lid?
We want to go to the heart of this problem, which is the greed and avarice.
The greed and avarice of you and all of your friends. The greed and avarice of all of these nonprofits that are all tied into this thing, and all of your buddies that set this thing up in place, and you're not doing anything with it other than stealing it from us and giving it to a bunch of garbage organizations that just take it and talk about stuff. There's a whole list of them that you can read about. There's a great Substack called Shipwrecked. And this guy isn't even living here. 22 years ago, he's been a prosecutor for 22 years. He's down in L.A. I want to get him on the show, but he doesn't want to talk publicly. But he's been going through all the numbers of all these NGOs. And he's like, they got $500,000 for this Ella group that are over there in the Yakima area. And they're not doing anything with the CO2 stuff. Their mission, they train Latino leaders for public offices and public service, focus on grassroots organizations, get out the vote work, governance, education for city council, school boards, and they got $500,000. Did they do anything about the CO2 that was supposed to be killing all of us? I asked you. And the answer is no. No. Why am I not?
The answer is
I still
no.
need to dive in, don't I? Dive in!
Nice.
You don't care.
By the way, it's a Cascade party officially against the climate commitment.
And let's just look around the room and see who voted for it. Let's see. Andrew? Did Andrew vote for the CCA Climate Commitment Act? Did he vote for it?
No.
No. Hold on there. Hold on. Andrew did not vote. They get ripped off. The climate commitment. So Andrew, put you down as a no. Let's go over to Nate. Talk to Nate for a second. Nate, did you say yes to the Climate Commitment Act?
Climate Commitment Act.
The CCA. Were you all about capturing all that nasty CO2 and?
No.
Okay, that's Nate. No. That's 2 for 2. I'm gonna put myself down for a hell no. In fact, my little black pen, I think, went right through the circle right in there. That's how sure I was. Oh, there's Joe over there. Hey, Joe. Sorry I didn't see you over there. I'll put you down as a no, right?
Well, actually, I did vote. I voted in favor of it.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Stop the music.
I did.
On purpose?
Yep. Yeah, seemed like a good idea at the time.
When people tell me this, it's just, sometimes they kind of tear up a little bit.
Nice.
All right.
Any more questions?
No.
Okay. Would I vote for it again?
Doesn't matter.
You could have asked.
Oh. Doesn't matter.
No.
Doesn't matter. You've done the damage. Taken $4.3 billion from all of us, Joe. Wasted on a bunch of organizations. Cascade Bicycle Club gets $7 million to teach kids how to ride bikes.
How else would they?
Now, when I was a kid, could you, it's inflation and everything. I remember it only cost $200,000 to teach kids how to ride bikes when I was growing up.
Different time.
Does that weigh heavily on you when you go to put the nozzle on the old tankaroo and the thing's running up the number? You think, man, I am really screwing myself here.
No, I don't think about it.
All right.
You know why?
Why?
Because pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice.
But every time, the amount of money.
Yeah, I get it. I understand it. I would vote differently given the opportunity today.
Okay.
But
you didn't. It's over. I get it. Let it go. Fine. It's not even worth talking about the voters concerned over climate.
It is.
Yes,
it's
it really
important because it segues into our next topic.
Okay, fine. Here we go.
I was schwitzing a lot in the month of July, although granted, I schwitz a lot all the time. But the bottom line when it comes to voters is, simply put, they don't care. They don't care. I mean, just look at these numbers. Okay, top issue a midterm vote. You can list up the 3 issues. The economy, not surprisingly, comes in at number 1 at 54%. Immigration, 28%. Look where climate change is. It's tied for 14th. Tied for 14th, all the way down here at 3%. Johnny, I'm not the greatest mathematician in the world, but I sure as heck know that 54% is a whole heck of a lot higher than 3%. So despite the climate being so warm in the month of July, the hottest month on record here in the United States of America, the voters simply put do not say that climate change is going to be an issue in which they vote upon in the midterm election.
And how much people are concerned has been changing over time. And in terms of what the prediction markets are saying about how hot it will be this year.
It's going to be hot, Johnny B. Some like it hot. Look at this. Okay, chance that 2026 will be the world's hottest year. Look at that. In July 12th, about a month ago, it was 24%. Now 65% in the Kalshi prediction markets. So quite hot indeed, but Americans simply put, they don't care about climate change.
We're going to go look for that R in the word percent to see if we can find it by tomorrow. Harriet, and thank you. We'll be right back.
The Odds. Brought to you by Kalshi Prediction Market.
I see. One more little sort of put a cherry on top. They asked people starting, I think, in 2022 or something, would you be willing to pay $1 a month to fight climate change? And 54% said yes. And that number's been dropping every year since. Wouldn't even pay $1 a month. I think it's at 36% say, yeah, they would. We pay $4.3 billion to bring down the Earth's temperature and capture CO2 in the state of Washington. But most Americans, when surveyed, wouldn't even pay $1. Talking about the Kalshi market, it's the fact that in the state of Washington now, they've stepped in and said, no more of this. This is gambling. And what does Kalshi say? They say it's not gambling, it's predictions.
Prediction market, yes.
Yeah, it's like in the state of Utah, you're not allowed to have a raffle. You know, say, hey, you want to buy a raffle ticket? You have to call it an opportunity drawing. Like, don't do auctions in Utah. Whatever you do, don't say raffle ticket. Say opportunity drawing. Who here would like an opportunity drawing? All right, reaching into the barrel. Drum roll, please. Who wins the opportunity drawing? And also part of the rule is that if you don't want it, you say you want to buy an opportunity drawing for $100 to win, a trip to Mexico or something. If the person says, I'd like one, but I don't want to pay for it, you have to give them a free one.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's part of the rule.
Wow.
But luckily, nobody knows that one, because if not, they'd be like, yeah, I'll take one. And then how much money do we make on the opportunity drawing? $0. I think there's no way they're going to be able to get away around this. They've been ordered to stop all operations in the state of Washington. All the gambling and stuff is pretty much controlled by the tribes in the state of Washington, and they don't want them to be able to come in here and start to be able to have money moving outside of the market. So they're shutting it down. And Kalshi's probably going to just simply let this thing go and write off the state of Washington. Will other states follow suit? It's a gigantic market. It's everywhere. No matter how they sort of slice it, it still is somebody you're putting money down, and if you get something correct, you get money back. There's no other way to look at it.
And the Kalshi prediction odds on winning any money from Kalshi are very slim.
But people keep doing it. But here's the weird thing. In the state of Washington, you can do a lottery. Because all the money, it was supposed to go to schools, but it doesn't. They still have the Washington lottery. What's the difference because that's the state getting all of that money. In this case, it's you sitting there in your underwear blowing a bunch of farts into your Herculon couch, betting. How much you got to bet? Like $10, 15? Does it matter?
You can bet any amount. I think it might be like $1 or something.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go. And since the state doesn't get anything of it, they're not going to have that thing keep going. By the way, other bets, you want to bet whether or not Trump's Truth Social lawsuit goes through? The president was sued on Wednesday by media outlets and nonprofit groups seeking to block the controversial news series, which is basically giving you the news that is going to break prior to it breaking so that you can cash in and make money.
The president, some of his top aides, and the White House are now being sued over the decision to sell Truth Social's API to Wall Street firms to allow Wall Street firms to get some information on Truth Social fractionally faster than the general public. So this is a new lawsuit filed by the Intercept Media, the Freedom of the Press Foundation, filed in the Southern District of New York today. And they argue that this scheme, they say, is extraordinary, corrupt, and unconstitutional. They say it's profoundly corrupt because the president, who is the majority shareholder in Truth Social, says that he...
Do you know what's crazy about his Truth Social? So he makes money off of Truth Social. So he puts crazy stuff up on Truth Social. He's always putting stuff out there. So every time he puts something out there, and if you're on it and you read it, he's making money on it. So he just puts the stuff out there. Plus, he would say something like, magnets or put some other news. You would get the news from Truth Social before it would break publicly. So then if he tells you that you should be buying something or got a big meeting today talking about...
A perfect example is the war with Iran.
Right.
So if there's like, hey, we got a peace deal on the table, if he tweets that or Truth Social posts it, then the oil markets react immediately. So prices will go down if there's a peace deal. If there's no peace deal, the prices go up. So they want to charge $100,000 per month for you to get those messages like 5 minutes earlier.
I don't know whether we've never had a president so publicly looking for the loopholes in the law. Find out, hey, this is what I want to do. Can I do it? Can we do it without being sued? Well, no one's ever done it before. The weird part of it is you had the Biden administration in there with Hunter getting money, the Biden family getting all that money, and that was all under the table and hidden, and you couldn't find out about it, and you still really can't find. They stopped a lot of the investigation. But this is broad daylight. Yeah. This is flat out. Hey, yeah, sure. You pay us a bunch of money, and we'll give you some news ahead of time, then you can cash in on it. And then his kids buying islands and all this money going everywhere. It's just wild. It is. I think he's made, the numbers are all over, anywhere between $1 billion to $2 billion increased for him. When the president, whoever gets elected, they have to be able to show all of their assets, and then they're not allowed to trade or buy that stuff. But he's found entirely new ways to make money. It's so public. It's like, go ahead, sue me, which they do sue him.
Yeah. It is pretty wild, and I guess he just figures, well, we'll just do everything that we possibly can and deal with the repercussions later if there are going to be any. Which
right,
seems
because
like
the other part of it is like it's not his lawyer.
Right.
A friend of mine used to develop in New York City, and he hated Trump because he was doing buildings. Trump was doing buildings, and he said to me, God, I just couldn't stand that guy because he would get everything built, the whole thing, and then the plumbing, the drywall people, electric people, he wouldn't pay anybody, and then he would say, go ahead and sue me. So go ahead and sue him rather than getting paid, the dollar. Right. They're going to get 30 cents on the dollar. So we just work them that way. And it was just part of the way they were doing business, which is so wrong. And my buddy, Butera, used to, whenever Trump was doing a building and he was doing buildings, he used to go over there and say, let's go get all the drywall people. Like, we go over and get them and take them off. Yeah, poach them. Bring them over here. We pay them a little bit more or something just to get them off to screw up Donald's building schedule. It just boggled his mind that the guy could just get away with it. And it's just shameless. Now you get somebody like Nancy Pelosi who was secretly having her husband, trade for her, and she was making a whole bunch of money. They're all making money in this sort of stuff, but it was all like, oh, don't tell anybody.
Yeah, I can't decide which is worse.
No. What is worse is somebody doing it surreptitiously, hiding it. That's terrible. This is at least public.
Yeah, but it's also
it's wrong.
It's at a scale that is 10 times as much as the covert ones.
Not quite as bad as the CCA. Will somebody please? Todd Myers can't get answers from the Department of Ecology. They're supposed to release this stuff every year to how much CO2, but they won't. They don't know. They don't have it. And every day you're getting ripped off on that thing.
Magnets.
Thank you. All right, Nathan, let's take a look at traffic, Nathan.
Everett to Marysville down a few minutes at 25. Heavy from 526 to 528 still. Linwood to Seattle has gone back to an hour and 20 minutes. We've got a parking lot from 130th all the way to I-90. Eastbound 90 mid-span. This collision blocks the right lane. That's got you backed up to I-5, and this is what's adding to that South 5 backup. Now, with that said, a tow just hooked up to a car, and looks like we may have this thing cleared here in just a couple of minutes. Southbound 99, we're bumper to bumper from the zoo to the stadiums. Northbound 99 is heavy through that downtown tunnel. North 5 solid from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. Give yourself a half hour to get through this. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 35, 40 minutes on both bridge routes. Bellevue to South Center is 50 minutes, jam-packed from 520 all the way to Northeast 44th near the VMAC. And out in Redmond, eastbound 520 near the off-ramp to Westlake's Sammamish Parkway, we've got a collision blocking at least one right lane. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate Connors. If you got the AC on and all of a sudden just doesn't, it's blowing hot air, you're like, well, wait a minute. Oh, boy, something's wrong. Your initial response, most people, is, oh, boy, I need a whole new AC unit. Don't panic. Hang on. Turn it off, turn it back on again. That probably is not going to work. So call Home Comfort Alliance. Why? Because when you check the Google reviews, their customer service is the best. They've been in business for almost 50 years. And I can tell you from personal experience, I used to come to our house there in Sammamish and fix stuff because I didn't know how to fix anything. They'll take a look at the AC unit and say, well, just needs this part or that part. They're not going to sell you something that you don't need. If you do need a whole AC unit, I'm going to suggest, and they will as well, go with a heat pump. Keeps you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, exactly the way you want to be. You can also find out without wasting any time or money. Home Comfort Alliance can tell you within 60 seconds with no pressure, no guesswork. You right there on your phone, you can find out everything you need to know. And all you need to know is Home Comfort Alliance when it comes to heating, cooling, and plumbing and electrical needs. You call the comfort people at homecomfortalliance.com.
Charlie Harger.
I want to be a watchdog.
From Seattle's Morning News.
Somebody who is not accepting from the government at face value what they're telling you. I might not even be necessarily against a politician, but if I see an issue or a policy that I think are worthy of a conversation, I'm going to bring it up.
Hear Charlie's 7:35 commentary every morning on Seattle's Morning News.
You can watch all of Charlie's commentaries anytime on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
It's Olympic Hot Tub's 49th birthday, and you get the gifts. Big savings on saltwater hot spring spas, plus free Bluetooth music and interest-free financing for 3 years. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Jane is a small business owner. Tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
The Total Solutions Advantage. No one does business like Comcast Business.
The more solutions you add, the more you save. Get started today with a qualifying internet package for as low as $60 a month when you add an advanced solution. Plus, new customers, ask how to get up to $1,500 in prepaid cards when you add 2 lines of mobile to a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, tax, and fees extra. Prepaid card offers end 9/13/2026.
On BritBox, your next hidden gem is right around the corner.
If you're going to be bold, here is the place to do it.
Get ready for Britain's most anticipated series, streaming exclusively on BritBox. Catch new seasons of favorites, including Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
You want someone to get murdered?
And the eagerly awaited new adaptation of Agatha Christie's iconic detective duo, Tommy and Tuppence.
Do you think we're actually really good at this?
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch with a free trial.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Pet Decorator wood floors are not only gorgeous, they perform better than all other wood floors. Here's a few examples. The patented finish is made to last a lifetime. Antimicrobial and no VOC. Waterproof. Easy installation with a lifetime warranty. The most pet-friendly wood floor anywhere. Available at Sound Kitchen and Bath. Call today, petdecorator.com.
This summer, I'm driving the 2026 Subaru Forester Touring Hybrid from Carter Subaru. It is gorgeous. It's my first hybrid, and I'm loving the savings at the pump. And right now, during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, Carter Subaru has more than 800 vehicles in stock, including the 2026 Subaru Forester, starting at just 1.9% APR. Visit Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 8/31/26.
You know that feeling on a Friday night after a long week and all you want to do is just get away from everything? What if you didn't have to go anywhere? John Curley here. Seattle Hot Tub Company carries hot tubs, swim spas, and cold plunges for every lifestyle. A hot tub for those quiet evenings under the stars, swim spa for the morning workout, and cold plunge for recovery. All American-made products, different sizes, different features, different price points. Always clearly marked. There's no games and no high-pressure sales. Find them online at seattlehottub.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. Tacoma animal control officers in hazmat gear say they've now rescued 61 cats from a sailboat anchored in the city's harbor. Officer Brittany Kirsch tells KIRO Radio's Jake and Spike the rescue took her team more than 3 full days to complete.
It's definitely a one for the record books. It's a little off the wall.
And now we are hearing from the man who was living on that boat. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports.
Derek Heeb tells the Seattle Times he'd been living on the 40-foot boat off Owen Beach until just before police seized it. He tells the Times during the pandemic somebody had given him a cat who had a litter. He then got her spayed and 2 of the kittens, but he couldn't afford any more. So over the years, the cat's numbers multiplied. He says one of the cats had bitten him, and he left for a couple days to get treatment. Says he didn't mean to abandon the cats. When we reached him by phone, he declined to comment. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A candidate headed to Washington's November ballot is facing a DUI charge now. Seattle Red 770 reports Krista Rose Perez was booked into the Pierce County Jail this week after a crash involving 5 vehicles. Perez later posted bond and was released. The Democrat advanced out of the primary, finishing ahead of incumbent Representative Melanie Morgan, who's also a Democrat. She represents Tacoma in the 29th Legislative District. New information in the investigation into a Boeing 737 over Greece, in which a Ryanair passenger was partially sucked out of a broken window last month. ABC's Alex Stone says the NTSB found engine parts shattered the window.
When the Boeing 737 took off, passengers and crew reported abnormal engine vibrations that got worse over 9 minutes before what was described by some on board as an explosion when a window was shattered. The NTSB saying it found multiple fan blades broke and punctured the plane. The blade showed signs of metal fatigue even though they had been inspected in May. The NTSB says it is aware of other fan blade issues on 737s and is looking to see if there's a connection. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Takes us to 5:32. We have Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Everett to Marysville, 25-minute drive. We're heavy from 526 to 528. Seattle to Everett is down to 40 minutes. Bellevue to Everett still around 50 with a new crash. North 405 just past 520, blocking both of your toll lanes. Linwood to Seattle, an hour, 15-minute commute, and it is a park parking lot from 130th all the way to I-90. Southbound 99 is bumper to bumper from the zoo to the stadiums. Northbound 99 heavy now near the West Seattle Bridge to South Lake Union. North 5 is thick from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal. Half hour to get through this. Bellevue to South Center is at 45 minutes, and it is thick from 520 all the way to the VMAC. North 405, we're bumper to bumper from South Center through those S-curves. And in Redmond, eastbound 520, right near that off-ramp to West Lakes and Mamish Parkway, a collision blocks the right lane. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
So your forecast now, we have some thunderstorm activity in the mountains this evening with the red flag warning in effect for both the Cascades and the Olympics until 9 o'clock tonight. Otherwise, we have also hazy sunshine for this evening and morning clouds tomorrow, followed by afternoon sunshine. Right now, 79 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Do it fast, Teeny. We don't have much time. Spin the giant wheel. The names of all the players are on the wheel. There it goes. Right. Oh, it stops right there. Lands on me. I like my eggs hard-boiled. I like them getting downstairs in the KIRO Radio cafeteria, whatever that place is. 2 of those eggs and their own juices. Right there. Wilcox Lane Farm eggs. There we go. All right. We're going to go fast just because Carmen Sutherland, I just was reading about you. Camille Sutherland. I was just reading about you. You are, you're being accused online. Oh, there you go. Hi. How are you? Nice to see you. Hi. You're being accused online of being irresponsible, and they can't believe that you went on board the boat. And this person is describing you as, they say something like, oh, I wouldn't even get into the fact of how some boneheaded person could be transporting traps with cats in it on a glorified boogie board.
Yeah. So I read that post by Catman to the Rescue.
Yes.
I've never heard of that man. He seems to be a keyboard warrior on Facebook. And I just have 2 things to say. I think he blocked me too on Facebook because I couldn't see it from my own
If you're going to say 2 things, do any of them involve curse words? Just let Andrew know. No. Okay, go ahead.
No. Yeah, to the Catman to the Rescue, don't underestimate me.
Okay.
And I'm not an idiot. I have a boat. I have access to boats. And I used a boat on Monday night to take cats to land.
Okay.
So, yeah.
If a cat is in some distress and you are aware of that distress, it's not an exaggeration to say you'll do anything you can to save a cat.
That would not be an exaggeration. That's correct.
Why is that?
I'm just a huge animal lover, and I always have been. I've been a trapper for about 5 years, and being a cat trapper sometimes means bending the law a little bit. And I've always found that it's better to ask for forgiveness and permission.
Yes.
Especially when a cat is in danger or, confined without food and water. I rescue the cat first and deal with people second.
Have you found you're dealing with people second getting you in trouble sometimes?
Never with the law.
Mm-hmm.
Until potentially now, which I'm sure that nothing will come of this. I'm not sure, but I hope not. So yeah, I've had arguments with people before because of it, but at the end of the day, the cat's rescued, so I don't really care.
Right. So
people are the hardest cat rescue.
I got it. So on that boat, the man says he had 1 cat, and then he got 2 cats, then he got 1 spade, and then he had to go away for a while. How many cats altogether did they say were on the boat there in Tacoma?
We've pulled 60 off the boat.
You must have been in some situations where into an abandoned house or an apartment or something. Have you ever seen that many cats in that small of a space?
Yeah, maybe not in that small of a space, actually, because apparently when the police arrived there on Thursday, all the cats were locked inside the boat. And they'd been that way for at least 3 days, and it was hot last week. I've never seen that many cats in such a small space, but I have seen that many cats in, let's say, like a 1-bedroom apartment before. Yeah.
What little speculation on your part? You really have a deep, abiding love for cats. What do you think is going on in the mind of the man who's living on that boat with all of those cats? What can you sort of put yourself in his shoes and think, how could somebody live like that?
Yeah. So what we see a lot with hoarders is genuinely love for animals. They do have a love for animals. And they usually, mental illness is usually at play as well. They don't know where to turn for help. And I'm not giving any sympathy to this man. Don't get me wrong, but that's usually what we see is they genuinely think that they're doing something that is helpful and that they're helping animals. From what I saw, I don't understand how he was living on that boat. And I honestly am not convinced that he was. At some point he was. And then maybe in the last few months or year, maybe he's just been going out there every day to feed the cats. But it definitely didn't look, there wasn't even a place where he could lay down. There was no place. And every single internal floor was covered in 2 inches of wet, soggy feces.
Right.
So he can't walk around in it. Yeah.
When you say you trap them, I assume humanely, obviously. So you see a cat that's either being abused or astray in some way. You set the trap. You then catch the cat. You take the cat. What's the process after something like that?
Yeah. So I always try to domesticate every cat that I trap. And sometimes they're not even feral at all. They're just friendly and they were shy or scared. But a lot of the times they are semi-feral. And so we try to get them into foster care, whether that's with me or one of my friends or fellow rescuers. And then over the course of weeks or months or sometimes years, then get adopted out. If we don't have any foster resources or they're really just seeming like they're way too far on the feral scale to be domesticated, then we get them fixed, vaccinated, healthy. Like if they're sick, we make sure that we give them antibiotics and that kind of thing. Rabies vaccine, FVRCP vaccine, and then we release them back. And I always make sure for every cat that I trap, I always make sure that they have an ongoing feeder. So somebody that's going to continue to feed them every day. And sometimes that means that I'm dropping off food donations to make that happen.
Right.
And then a heated cat shelter, cat house for the 5 cold months here in Seattle.
Do you remember your first cat when you were a little kid?
Of course. That's funny you ask. I actually trapped my first cat. It was a kitten underneath my portable in 3rd grade. And I went home after seeing it that day, and I told my parents, and my dad's also a huge animal lover, and so is my mom. We went back up to the school that night. It was 15 degrees, and I had a little play carrier, and we tied a string to the end, and we had hot food in the back, and she walked in and we pulled it up. Then I didn't trap another cat until I was 30 years old.
But your dad was out there with you? Your dad was out there with you?
Yep. And he it actually took 2 nights of us going up there. We didn't get her the first night. When we got her home, we let her go in my bathroom, and she climbed the mirror. That was my first time seeing a feral cat. And she ended up warming up, and becoming a lap cat about 1.5 years later. So for the first 1.5 years, she lived under the bed, and that was fine.
When people say that, I think the guy that had all the cats said, well, I didn't have enough money. I look to see, especially there in Tacoma, if you are low income or simply can't afford it, it is free. But if you can afford it, I think it's anywhere between $30 to $80. Are those numbers about right to have the cat spayed or neutered?
Yeah. There's still low-cost spay-neuter organizations. There's one in Tacoma. There's also Feral Cat Spay-Neuter Project in Renton and Linwood, and Northwest Spay-Neuter in Tacoma. And it is hard to get appointments. I will say that. The general public, you have to log in on the 1st of every month, and that's when they open up new appointments. If you check any other time of the month, it usually says that they're fully booked. So it is hard. For me, since I'm a volume client at Feral Cat Spay-Neuter Project, I can get appointments more regularly, and I can bring 10 cats in at a time. But it is fairly inexpensive. Of course, it wouldn't, 60 cats would add up, but he really should have sought help a long time ago.
So it says here, this guy that took you to task online says, Miss Sutherland thought she knew better than everyone else. She thought the Tacoma Police and Tacoma Animal Control didn't know what they're doing with their jobs. How many cats did you take off? that boat?
I only took 3.
3.
But because when the police got there on Monday morning, I had already set my traps and I had 4 set, and then the police boat came.
I see.
Literally, there was 4 cats sniffing around these 4 traps about to go in, but then the police boat came and they're like, you have to get off. So
Okay, so you're not in trouble. We don't have to like send money and get a trap and bail you out, right?
hopefully not. I haven't heard anything. All I've heard is that I've been listed as a suspect in the case.
Oh.
And to that, I responded, you all should focus on rescuing the last cats off the boat and not this silly paperwork adding me as a suspect in the case.
Joe likes what you say. Joe likes what you say about private property, and we'll leave the interview there. What did you say about private property?
I said private property means nothing to me. I'll go in and rescue a cat if it needs help.
Well, Ms. Sutherland, we wish you the best. We thank you for stepping in. Your love of cats apparently knows no bounds. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Let's check Nate. Checking traffic. Nathan.
Harbor Stone Credit Union has the update. Bellevue North 405 just past 520. Our collision that had two toll lanes blocked now is blocking a third lane, and we're backed up to Main Street in Bellevue. But once you get through this, it isn't bad. We're quickly clearing out ahead of you on 405. So Bellevue to Linwood right now will take you 35 minutes. Seattle to Linwood in comparison is at 25 minutes tops. You're crowded at 145th and Shoreline, up to 164th in Mill Creek. Linwood to Seattle, an hour 10. We've got a parking lot still from 130th to I-90. This backup just hasn't budged in the past hour. North 5, thick from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal. Half hour gets you through this. Bellevue to South Center, we're down to 40 minutes. Still heavy from 520 to the VMAC. North 405 in the south end is packed from South Center through the Renton S curves. In Redmond, looks like we just cleared that collision eastbound 520 just before the off-ramp to West Lake Sammamish Parkway. And Seattle to Federal Way now just under a half-hour commute. Open a money market special online with 3.75 annual percentage yield with full access to your money the entire time at harborstone.com/money market. Insured by NCUA. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio is honored to bring home one of the nation's top awards in our industry, the prestigious National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news coverage. One award is the result of our team's hard work every single day, and none of it would be possible without you. You trust us with important information every time you choose us. Whether you listen over the air, on the KIRO News Radio app, or you watch us on YouTube, thank you.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. Here's a number worth sitting with: 12. 12 different families of Big's killer whales were in our waters last week, according to naturalists from Puget Sound Express. They report that the T65As and T77 families hunted together at Partridge Bank. The T46 and T124A2s worked the shoreline near Bush Point, and the T36s and T137As ranged all the way from Tacoma to Waldron Island. All 12 families, like all orcas, have their own history and way of moving through the sea, and it's an incredible gift that we get to share these waters with them. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Orcas, humpbacks, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-881-8686. That's 800-881-8686. 800-881-8686.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Sky Nursery has something exciting for you every weekend all summer long. The 50th Anniversary Dahlia Show, a Japanese floral arranging exhibition, workshops on mosaics, bonsai, and even carnivorous plants. Full summer schedule at skynursery.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Oh boy, no time for a song. Right? Nope. Right into it. We'll get the letter of the day first, take care of all the rest. Joe.
Terry in Mill Creek says, question, could the voters repeal the CCA? 3 years ago, I decided not to go back to work, not to go back to paid work so I could raise my kids and help my community. I have time. I love research. I genuinely love to help. Essentially, give me a task and I will do it.
Would be great to have you doing that. Jeff in Issaquah says Joe is a perfect example of voters in Washington. Oh, that's not fair.
That's we Jeff and I went back and forth.
Okay, good.
I wish I knew then what I know now. 425 says, how can these texts think Kirby is better than Gilbert? He isn't and never will be. Your guys' take is spot on. Trade Kirby for a great hitter like Lopez.
I assume that for some other place. Oh. Jen in Scottsdale on the Tuesday Bucky song. Yes, John, that was good.
It was that good.
Oh.
Katie in Tacoma says, I'm driving and not supposed to use my phone, but how do I report someone who's throwing a cigarette butt out the window on the freeway? Do they not understand it's wildfire season?
Come on now. Andrew in the 509 says, pain is inevitable. Suffering. The John Curley Show is optional. Da Buddha.
The new old man John says, could you please ask your audience if anyone has an old 1960s Daisy's BB gun? I would like to buy it. Or perhaps you could have Rye put that out on his show.
He wants the old one, the 60s. He'd probably find one on eBay. But carefully, put your eye out. Doug in Mount Vernon says, why would a radio personality support the CCA? Their job is to sell air.
Paul in Sammamish says, see you guys at Gene Colin Park in Renton after the show to listen to Between Two Gregs, 6 to 8:30.
I didn't know that was happening. Brian in Arlington says, on the weight question, not done yet, but yeah, I'll do it again.
Kirk from Tacoma.
No idea what it's referencing.
The question. Would you live your life again?
Weight. Not the weight. It's written down as weight isn't like on a scale.
Heard it.
Move on. You can move on.
Kirk from Tacoma says, regarding being overly busy, here's the speech I gave to my son at college orientation. You need to schedule sleep, fun, and school. Sounds silly. Yeah, routines and lists suck, but they're also necessary.
So many letters, so little time.
I know.
Thank you, Teeny.
This comes to us from Jim in Centralia.
Okay.
Lefties are in their right mind. That's a scientific fact.
And he also says, P.S. I'm a little baffled that Mr. Curley has no idea about Rush's 2112 album. I'm only 2 years younger than he is. He must have been a country music fan back then.
Peter Frampton. Frampton comes alive. This is Rush.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. Boy, so many letters.
I know. We need to figure out. We need a new system.
We need a system.
A new system.
Like maybe go to break a few minutes earlier.
Okay.
That hurts. Here comes Nate checking traffic.
Bellevue, we cleared that collision northbound 405 just past 520. Had 3 lanes blocked for a while, but that backup is starting at Southeast 8th up to 520, but it's going to quickly thin out at this point. Right now, Bellevue to Linwood will take you a half hour. Linwood to Seattle, hour 5 minutes. It is a parking lot from 130th and Northgate all the way to I-90. Southbound 99, we're bumper to bumper from the zoo to the stadiums. Northbound 99, heavy through the downtown tunnel. North 5 still packed from the Michigan curve up into the Ship Canal Bridge. Half hour to get through this. Bellevue to South Center, 45 minutes. It is thick from 520 all the way to Northeast 44th near the VMAC, and then it opens right up for you. North 405 in the south end, still bumper to bumper through South Center into the Renton S curves and down to the county line. Both directions of I-5 are jam-packed between State Route 18 and the Fife curve. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Fire up the lights. Lace up the pads.
All you got to do is throw the pads on, and you can tell who want to do it, who don't.
The defending champs are playing football at Lumen Field.
We get to play football today. That's fun. Football, baby! All teed up.
It's the preseason opener. Seahawks, Cowboys. Saturday, kickoff at 5, pregame at 3.
Get your mind and your body ready to hit. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Listen wherever you are for free on the KIRO Newsradio app.
It's time to move on from your dull kitchen, outdated bath, and old cabinets. Create a space that is fresh, more functional, and beautiful. Sound Kitchen and Bath creates stunning kitchens and baths to meet your budget. Why wait? We customize every kitchen and bath with incredible quality and style. We come to your home and make it easy for you. Sound Kitchen and Bath, soundkitchenandbath.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riley with Olympic Hot Tub. It's our 49th birthday, and we're celebrating by giving you the gifts. Outstanding savings on saltwater hot spring spas, free Bluetooth music, and interest-free financing for 3 years. Plus, exciting savings on endless pool swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges. How's that for a birthday to remember? Ends August 24th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Jazz Alley invites you to a special evening with Grammy-winning guitarist and vocalist John Pizzarelli, presenting Dear Mr. Bennett, a celebration of Tony Bennett and the Great American Songbook. August 13th through the 16th, tickets at jazzalley.com.
The Black Crowes, live in the Tulalip Amphitheater, Sunday, August 30th. Tickets are on sale now. Details at TulalipCasino.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. Northwest News.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Seattle Hot Tub carries American-made products. Different sizes, different features, different price points. All prices are clearly marked. There's no games, no